What it do?
What it do, man?
What it is?
I don't even know, bro. Like, I just love being up here.
Right. Got me like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's up?
How you doing?
Right.
It's like these vibes, man. I don't know. It's just these vibes. It's something else.
It's probably when you look at the noon and how it just reminds you of Fruit Loops.
Right. I'm saying.
It's got that breakfast feel to it.
Why you getting me hungry, bro?
Oh, I thought you ate breakfast already.
I had breakfast, but it's afternoon. And now I want some lunch.
Now you want some lunch, yeah.
And I want Fruit Loops.
Brunch. Fruit Loops, that sound good. I did just have some Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Probably why.
But I think it's some people waiting on us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I thought they was looking at the clouds with us.
Yeah, they looking up, waiting for us to descend.
Okay.
They're checking for us, I think.
Let's start the show.
Let's start the show.
See Fran Jackson here already asking Fruit Loops for lunch.
Fruit Loops for lunch? No.
Yes.
Maybe.
For me, yes. I'll eat breakfast anytime. Breakfast for dinner sounds good. Breakfast for lunch.
Yes, it does.
Breakfast for breakfast.
Breakfast for breakfast. What up, y'all?
Gotta break fast. What's
up,
y'all?
What's up?
What it do?
Y'all know what it is. Afternoon. Den of Nerds. It's your boy Al.
It's your boy Lavis.
Yeah.
We up in here.
Who we got right?
All right. Let's see here. We got off top. We got Mike Motherfucking Porter for the afternoon.
Hey man, I'm still say fucking. I don't care. That's Josh. Josh can say flipping all day. It's motherfucking Porter where I come from.
All right, well fuck it. We got Mike Motherfucking Porter.
Children ain't supposed to be around here any goddamn way. It's for the grown folks.
Right. It's adult afternoon.
Right.
Put your kids in the playpens and on the leashes, whatever it is y'all do.
Whatever you do with them.
I don't have children. So
I would say you lucky, but you know, children are a beautiful thing.
Look
at
like
you,
the country,
as always, right in the middle of us do a roll call. I'm gonna pause roll call for just a hot second so I can give a special shout out in the building to my oldest, Samaya, turned 17 today.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. Hope you're out there doing nerve injury things.
Yes.
Just not too many.
Not too many. Right. Yeah, definitely not too many. All right, anyway, so we got a Star Wars talk show. We got the homie Josh in here.
What's happening, Josh? Hope you're chilling for at least 2.5 seconds on this Saturday.
Right. Then we got Derek Ramo, XR Coon.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
Got Flores, Yova Rods, Jonathan Nolan.
Yova, I gotta say hi to Yova.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Yova?
What's up?
What's up?
We got Lucas Tex Venger, Justin Simone. Yeah. I'm still gonna shout out Nightbot because Nightbot's always up there.
Nightbot. Nightbot stays grinding. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? He about that life. He a little better than Chet. He got one job and he does it great.
Yeah.
So we got Callisto Arcus, the girl, Patricia. What's up, Patricia?
What's up, Patricia?
We got Tim Fanjexture, Captain Pennsylvania, Steven.
I knew it got light in here. I knew.
Did it?
I knew the light skin content went up about 3.6.
Luckily, I didn't have to adjust mine. We had enough of that already.
That's we've been adjusting. That's probably why we had to adjust, because
that's exactly why.
Bringing that brightness.
Came in with that light side of the force.
Yeah, man. Got me wanting to listen to old Simone? 90s R&B.
I said Justin Simone. See, we got Mark Hamilton.
Hey,
Lord
Mark,
Vito.
What's good?
What it is. What's up? And Whiskey Steve.
Last but not least. Yes, I am enjoying my Saturday, man.
Yes. And then we'll give a collective shout out to all the broke Avengers.
Yeah.
Coming in there at the last minute. We see you.
That's what's up.
Right.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. This is a cool afternoon. Very cool afternoon.
I love chilling on the afternoons, man.
Yeah. We got the nice breeze. We got the purple pool water.
Can't be mad at that, man. You can't be mad at that. Purple pool and everything, man.
Right.
Purple pool saw some action, man.
City.
Look at
nice Nerd Adventure City.
It's always looking clean and stuff too, man. It's like they shout out to the janitorial force of Nerd Adventure City because
the Venger bots out there
cleaning the streets. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all my Vengers. What's up, my Vengers?
Yeah, what's up, Vengers? What's up? But yeah, real quick, one more time.
Hey, Gray. See Gray.
Shameless birthday plug. Let me get I'm checking for what might be. I'm gonna go with. Let me get the Iron Mane emoji one time again for my daughter's 17th birthday. If y'all would just be so kind as to show a little love, drop some of them Iron Mane emojis in there one time.
Iron Mane.
We gotta build up the youth, man. Like we at that point where now we gotta look to these little motherfuckers to carry us forward. So
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't put my part in that, so I don't really have much that I think I can say.
Hey, man. Hey.
Like I said, I ain't got no children.
Hey, man. You did it the right way, man. You did it the right way, man.
Maybe in the future. There
you go. You still got time. See, I'm past it, bro. People ask me and I'm like, as the great late Bishop Bullwinkle would say.
Right.
Hell no. To the no. No more for me. No more for me. It's hard enough right now with two and girls.
Right. Oh yeah.
Karma number 1 and karma number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Mister in Color Purple. Everything that I think about crumbles.
Right.
All that karma coming right back. I'm like, dang, I didn't really mean to make no mistakes as a young whippersnapper.
It happens.
It happens, though, man. But see, talk about making mistakes. One franchise that don't seem to be able to make one right now would be that Mandalorian, bruh.
Yeah, so far they're.
Did you see the comeback episode? Everybody was down on episode 2. So Filoni said, Favreau was like, you know what? Fuck what y'all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Going on and hit him with a little of that Bo-Katan.
Hey, he did too.
Bruh. Now, I'm going to go in and address this because I don't want to harp on the show all, it was a great, probably one of the best episodes we've gotten so far in the series. But I do have to take small issue with one item. And I know it's petty. I know. But all that money, Disney, and y'all couldn't get my girl a better wig than that. Like, that looked like one of them joints that came up out the bodega, like one of them number 2 specials just for like $3.99.
I mean,
they threw it straight on. It was like, here you go.
Bodega.
Bo-Katan. Could be.
Bow tie.
Yeah, man. It just took me out, bro. Like, I was like, wait, whoa. That wig just ain't sitting right. But
I mean, I don't know. I didn't mind it. It wasn't the worst.
Oh,
I think she had a beautiful face. So
yes, she is a very beautiful woman, but like the wig, man, just didn't. I couldn't. It was like every time she would show up on screen, it just made me cringe a little bit. I was like, ooh, that's.
You just wanted to reach through the TV and
y'all didn't try
to
fix that, like straighten that out during like scenes swapping, like during the outtakes. Nothing. He just was like. But see, this goes back like really quick to like the John Boyega thing, right? Maybe it's not like that they don't. It's that it's not that they don't know how to cater to black. It's not a racial thing. Maybe the hair and makeup team just sucks.
Yeah.
They hair maybe Disney's hair and makeup team on Star Wars is just garbage.
That's where they're saving their money at. They put all their money into the CGI development and none into the hair.
Yeah, man. But dude, let's just be real though. That episode though.
Definitely got
That
a 10
episode,
out of 10 for me.
I gave it a 9.5 because I did deduct 5.5 points.
I mean, was it really 0.5?
Yeah,
Like for
man,
the hair, that
dude,
much?
because it was the first thing I noticed when she took the helmet off. Like I knew who I was. I already knew what we was rocking with, and I was like, "Oh shit, they doing this right now." And then she took the helmet off. I was like, "Ooh, like, why does feel like they was like non-committal to that red hair and just decided
they didn't know they wanted to make it like red, or if they wanted to make it like orange, red.
Right, it was like they didn't know which way they wanted to go with it. So
red.
then at the end, they just decided, "Fuck it, throw on the wig right now." Like, you know what they look like? They look like to me, and I'm gonna clean this up as nice as I can. But they look like they rolled up and she threw that helmet on right after engaging in some adult activities, and really didn't get to check the mirror before she like they was handling business, and then all of a sudden got the ping that they had to come help Mando, so she just threw on the armor and the helmet and was like, "Let's go." And then like right after that scene where she talking to Mando, somebody probably leaned to her and was like, "You know you ain't fixed your wig, right? We know what you was doing."
It just fits for the scene.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
She's
Nah,
so
man.
nobody's gonna notice. I'm not gonna put 2 and 2 together.
No, I'm sure. Well, then again, now here's the really fun question, right? Are we gonna get a wig cancellation? I mean,
I doubt anybody's
they
gonna
wanted to cancel. They wanted to cancel Baby Yoda for eating some motherfucking eggs, but we ain't gonna go there today. But
I wonder if they're because it was a bad thing to do. Does that make them deviled eggs?
Ooh, could they be?
Could they be?
Could they be? Man,
Mike Porter, adult activity like paying bills.
Exactly.
What
That's exactly what.
Yes.
Mommy and Daddy were paying bills, son. That's it.
It's a very fiscal thing.
It's a very, very fiscal thing to do. Yes, indeed. But let's get into this show for real, bro. Like, I mean, damn. Like, it's one thing. Like I said. Now, the other thing that jumped out to me though. So Sasha Banks, man, what do we call that? Was that a grade A decoy? Did they put her out there to misdirect us?
Okay, so this is the thing on that. So did Disney come out and say that she was anybody?
Nah, I don't think she did.
That was just everybody speculating. So I would say that we just probably got so wrapped up in wanting her to be a particular character that we just all disappointed ourselves when she wasn't that character. But I mean, I don't know what importance Casca Reeves has to the show, but I mean, Sasha Banks, she at least got some good PR out of all of that.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it was I had people even after the show swearing up and down that was Sabine, and I'm like, bruh,
right.
I had the closed captions on when she spoke. It did not say her name was Sabine. It was Casca Reeves.
Yes,
and I was like, me, total Star Wars nerd that I am, jumping on Wikipedia like, who's Casca Reeves? Like, I have never heard of this chick.
So did I.
Yeah, man. And
I don't know, but see, in the Wikipedia, they only it's just Reeves. It's not Casca.
Right, exactly.
They go to the whole family. So I don't know what's necessary. I don't know the significance. I think that it's mentioned in Legends, so that's pretty much the most significant thing. Is most of the characters that were on there were from Legends. But to be completely honest, I don't really know much about Legends.
No, I'm kind of right there with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some of the Legends material, but I'm starting to get acclimated with some of it now because I feel like a lot of what we're gonna see going forward is gonna come from Legends. I think
right, yeah.
And low key, you know, we talked about this like a number of times on the show and shit, but the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing about the 25,000 years worth of lore that they didn't realize they had to tap into. I don't know how to, whatever. That
sucks.
I think that she is directly talking about the Legends and EU material.
I would say so.
I think that's exactly what she is. Exactly what she's referencing when she talks about that, and I think a lot of the ideas and a lot of the stuff that we're gonna start seeing is going to definitely have that Legends flavor to it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Definitely.
It seems like they plugged that in and they did it very subtly. So I'll be keeping my eyes out from that. But I had another question for you.
Okay.
How do you think Pedro Pascal feels, or do you think because you see everybody taking their masks off that that he's validated now? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody from the start. You had my man Timothy Olyphant come in. You know, he came in looking like Boba, but took his mask off. We got to see him for the whole rest of the thing, and then now you got these Mandalorians popping in, and these other actresses and actors they get to take their masks off. So like, do you think he's valid for feeling the way he did,
Let
or
me tell you how I interpret this situation. What up, Wu-Tang Wells? What's good, man? Welcome. Appreciate
up,
you
man?
coming through, homeboy.
Wells, what's up, Wells?
But look, man, this is what I see, right? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we heard rumors that like this was something that was maybe going on, even going back to the first season, right? That my man Pedro might have had some reservations about his lack of screen time, even going back to the first season. So here's where I think this went. I think this is proof that either Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau is either one of them are petty as fuck. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you, after knowing that news, when you watch these episodes, it looks like they intentionally find reasons to have every other Mandalorian mask wearing motherfucker take their mask off with Din Djarin in the scene.
Yeah.
Like they trolling this dude, man. Like they straight, even the no-name Mandalorians was popping their helmet off like, we finna get some shine.
Right.
And if Pedro's sitting there like, oh, am I a joke to you? Like literally. And I think, I don't know if it's, I would lean more towards it being Favreau than Filoni. But one of them is like, hell yeah, you're a joke. Because like nobody's coming to see you, Otis. Like,
right.
That's exactly the way I feel when I watch that, man. When I see it, it's like, dude, especially on this one, because like they all land and it's like the helmets come off and you know that's supposed to be the big reveal moment. And he's standing there and he's just like, even in character, my dude was like, where'd you get that off? Yep, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna take my mask off.
I will take mine off. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy to me. So it's like they trolling my dude at this point, and they petty for real, but it's hilarious. And the thing about it is, from a story standpoint, it really brings an interesting dynamic, because the idea of, you know, his particular creed of Mandalorian being like a zealot and kind of, you know, like the religious freak, like they took it to the extreme with it. That's interesting to me, man. And that really sets up a dynamic where I think the Mandalorian as we know it, that title for the show is going to evolve into the Mandalorian being more of a description of either the entire creed or the group or covert that he ends up joining, because they're going to set up, I think, a live action scenario where you've got all of these different like coverts. I'm sorry. You have all these different coverts, all of these different families, and Bo-Katan's going to be the one to kind of reunite everybody. And they setting up for the main event versus my man Moff Gideon.
Okay, I can see that.
To get that Darksaber back, it's gonna be like
a big Mandalorian get together.
Yep, like the whole thing, like old school NWO. Like we're gonna bring the whole crew, and we coming for you,
Nerd Vengers. I can see that. I can totally see that. So I guess one last little tangent question that I had that my brain is trying to space on, but it's a good one. This goes for you guys out there in the chat too. So some people are speculating that maybe in the end of it, he'll be able to take the mask off and, you know, you'll see Pedro Pascal that way.
Yeah.
Do you think that, one, that's possible? And two, if they did, how does that make you feel about seeing Pedro in costume going forward? If that's something that they do, is that you guys want to see that at all? Y'all comfortable with him in the mask?
Yeah, let us know in that two-way, man. Let us know what y'all think too. I'm here for it, man. Like I don't have a problem with it. It's not that I'm anti-Pedro or anything like that.
Right.
I think if they explain, and I think this is a way that you can explain him being unmasked more as we move forward. And maybe even part of the way that they decided to kind of acquiesce, if you will, to his complaint was that, okay, well then we'll do this, or we'll swerve it, or we'll swing it this way. But who's to say that Din Djarin survives this season?
This is true, because it is just called The Mandalorian. It's not called the Adventures of Din Djarin.
Nope.
It's not none of that. So,
and that's something I thought about. I honestly thought that going into, like, as we got towards the end of season 1, I started having this idea that maybe, there could be a scenario where this could potentially go on without Din Djarin. Like, we could see something where maybe his, charge to, like, protect and take Baby Yoda back to where he goes gets passed off to somebody else, or something like that, or that there's a swerve in this season, or maybe in another season where he gets killed off. And
gotcha.
That would be crazy, but again, I could see that happening just as quick as I could seeing, a season where he's taking the mask off on a regular basis.
Okay.
Like, I can see it going both ways.
So yeah, I see some people here in the chat, half and half on the same. You got Lord Beto saying mask on, mask off, don't matter. See, Greg said to see him be able to grow out of his fundamentalist Mandalorian cult and actually take off his helmet would be freaking awesome. I could see that. He says we saw Wu-Tang Wells says we saw in the last episode the mask is functional, not just for hiding faces.
Oh, so. and real quick, let me do I actually see a Dr. Windows sighting in the chat now? What's up, man? My broke Venger homie. That's my homie Jake, man. I see you in the chat. Hit us with a two-way. Said I always felt like the title reference to the child being that he's now a foundling. See, that's exactly it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the Mandalorian, this whole time we could be thinking is Din Djarin and focused on him, but it could actually turn out to be that it is the child. So again, that could be a certain kind of dope. That would be dope to get Baby Yoda Mandalorian with force powers.
Yeah. Like, little Yoda-lorian.
I'm here for it, man. And shameless plug, man. If y'all into science fiction, get on your favorite podcasting software and go look up The Children of Industrial Prime. Go check that out. That's some dope shit made by my man Dr. Window. And your boy has a voice cameo in that joint. Just be on the lookout for Freddie. Yo man, 50 grand. But yeah, yeah, man, that's my homeboy. Like, I'm glad to see him in the chat. That's what's up.
That's what's up. Hopefully he'll keep coming on through. See him on Thursdays.
He been trying to show love, but lazy nerd vengers like me forget to put the link out for people when I go live. So then it's like, we did that, but I forgot to let y'all know. My fault. So I'm getting better at it.
I'm in the same boat. I'm half and half, 50-50. See Josh coming in here. He said, just popping in to say what's up. Can't stay in chat, but much love to the community and Al and Lavis. And Al, you wrong about that wig though.
See, look, Josh, are we gonna have to change the Nerd or Naughty podcast episode 2 from Xbox versus PlayStation to wig versus no wig? Because we can go on about this wig, man. Like that. Come on, bro. That hair looks synthetic as all hell, man. Like, we out. I know she out in the galaxy doing her thing, bro. But no, man, I ain't rocking with that wig, bro. I am not rocking wig gate for real, man. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
So what would you prefer her hair to look like then? Or what would you think?
The wig, no, it's not the hairstyle and everything. I'm cool with that. My problem was the wig of choice. You could have got her something a little more realistic looking. Like, that joint just looked like, and maybe it's because I live with a bunch of females and it's like mania in my house. Like, it's always some new hair product or something coming in. So I'm like looking at that and I'm like, man, I know we could find a better wig than this. Like, I know this. It's got to be done, man. Like, you got to be able to do something about that wig, man.
Kind of like how we felt with Batwoman at first.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I got you.
But that's crazy because Bo-Katan ain't melanated, so for them to get that screwed up, like I'm just like,
right, yeah.
Hair and
So
makeup people, what y'all doing, man?
nothing good.
Not a
Apparently,
damn thing. Apparently, pissing
back
people
to
off.
school.
Yeah.
I seen that World Famous in here said he got one prediction right so far. What was that?
What prediction did you get right? I'm curious to know that too. Curious to know that too.
Saying that Bo-Katan, you predicted Bo-Katan would show up.
Yeah, man. And so then we also got a name drop at the end to kind of let us know where we're going in future episodes, as if we didn't already know. But they dropped Ahsoka's name.
Mm-hmm.
Let my man know right off the rip, hey, this is who you got to go see. So let's talk about that, man. So number one, do you think we'll see Ahsoka in the next episode? Hey.
No. No, I don't think we're gonna see her. I don't think we're gonna see her for 2 episodes. I see them stretching it out. I see kind of what it's noticing. Okay, so it's like they drop a hot album with the first episode. So it's a hot album.
Yep.
Then the second one they cool off, showing you the journey, doing a little character development.
Mm-hmm.
Then they drop a hot album in the third episode. So I think they're gonna let it cool off, sizzle, see him travel again. He just left the planet, so he might be on his way. He might get there, and then maybe she'll be in the end of it.
They'll
pop her in. They'll pop her in around.
Yeah. Now,
what's episode 5?
Got you. Now, here's the thing, though, and I was thinking about this, just kind of doing the mathematics. We got 8 episodes this season, right? Is it 8 or 10?
I believe so.
8, right?
I think it's 8.
I believe it's 8. And so next episode is episode 4. And so we have yet to have a Boba Fett resolution.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Right? True. We've yet to see Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. We did get some Moff Gideon, but we still don't know. We got an idea of where that's leading, so we've got a conclusion for that. And we also have the loose end to tie up, or we also have to bring Cara Dune and Grief Karga back into the mix.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit to be trying to wrap up in 4 episodes.
Right. So I see those 2 characters coming in this next episode.
Got you. Okay, so you think you're gonna
go? I believe Josh. I'm not sure. I think it was one of the morning shows. Josh actually even was able to find on IMDb some set photos they had, or some photos they had for the next episode, and those 2 are definitely in it. So I think he's gonna go get like help or something,
and then go ride out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll get in like some trouble or something. Maybe toward the end of it, it'll be real action packed. We'll be like, oh shit, what's going to happen? And then boom, Ahsoka comes out, wipes everybody up, washes them down, and boom, it's Ahsoka. And everybody's like, oh my god, we got Ahsoka in episode 4. And then episode 5, you get her in it, and then leaving for whatever reason.
No doubt. Now, with Ahsoka's appearance, do you think she's coming in blade swinging, or is it gonna be on some chill shit when we first see her?
I'd see it being blade swinging. I think they did a little foreshadow in episode 3 with how they introduced Bo-Katan's character. You know what I'm saying? And she came in swinging. They put him in a very dire situation that everybody was like, man, how the hell is he gonna get out of this?
Right.
And boom, that's how he got out of it. So I see them trying to paint that up a bit. The same thing with Ahsoka. And the reason why I think she's going to come in more toward the end of the situation is because I think episode 5, everybody's thinking we're going to get a background on Ahsoka. Yeah. No, I think we're going to get a little more information on what the deal is with Baby Yoda.
Got you. Now, and that's the thing, right? That's going to be the key to find out, because if they're taking the child to Ahsoka, then that means that at some point, I would assume that the child is under her care at some point in time, or that he gets maybe guided or directed by her to where she. Now, here's a question that just popped up in my head, kind of talking that through. So, do you think that once Ahsoka and the child meet, and do you think Baby Yoda is like, all right, cool, I'm rocking with this person, or do you think we get the I don't want to go with them, I'm choosing to stay with Mando?
To be honest, I think it's more or less going to go with somehow, some way his objective changes. He finally gets the baby to kind of where he's trying to get to, and he thinks he's going to be done with it, wash it up. Because my man Din Djarin is always trying to get rid of himself. He's always trying to separate him and the baby.
Right.
Like, think about it. He's always going gung ho. He's always like, "Hey, you take care of the baby. Here, I'm about to do something crazy."
Right.
So I think he's going to get to a point where it's like, "All right, I'm done with this little motherfucker." And it's going to be like, "No, you can't leave him with me." I helped him unlock some more of his force powers or whatever the hell the case is with that.
Right.
But you got to take him somewhere else. This babysitting facility is closed. He's got to go to this sector. And I think that's what's going to happen. It's just going to be like I'm trying to get rid of this little.
Well, see, because I thought about that too, right? I thought about that too, but I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more emotionally driven. Like, I think it's going to be one of them shits where it's like he's going to kind of the same thing that we saw when he returned him to the client was where he left and he's like, all right, deuces, I did what I was supposed to, but then something's going to compel him to not want to leave that situation. So I don't know if it'll be that he sticks around while the baby is training or whatever he's doing, or if the baby decides, I don't want to go, I don't want to be here. And then, maybe Ahsoka hits him with, this one's journey or destiny lies with you, not me, or some shit like that. Like, I'm very curious to see how they play that, because it could go either way. And it's just, I think whatever that link is, that's gonna be the thread that kind of leads us beyond the sequels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's gonna be the road we follow, is kind of what they're setting up there, and kind of how this Imperial Remnant thing shakes out. And that, again, because now the questions is just firing off. Question for you. Do you think that by the end of season 2 that the Moff Gideon situation will be resolved, or do you think we'll get a climax with no conclusion?
I don't think we'll get a conclusion toward that. I think the Moff Gideon and the remnants, stuff like that, they all serve the evil purpose. They all serve the reason why we're running purpose. And if you take them out, you would have to replace that with something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And again, they're not playing like a huge part in villainy. Like, they're able to pass these episodes off with just being natural danger. You know what I'm saying? So far, we've seen his ship get beat the hell up nearly every episode since episode 1 so far. You know what I'm saying? And so far, there's no, Imperials or, there's nothing like that popping in that's threatening him. For a second there, he had a problem with the Alliance, So I think that they serve a purpose, but they're just not the main focus of it. I think that that's something that might, since we know that they're trying to spin off into a Boba Fett and into a maybe some kind of a Rebels live action thing, whatever. I think it's going to be a centerpiece, something that connects all the shows. You know what I'm saying? And we could see them probably do something like a crossover once they start getting their shows together. They could probably do a Disney Plus CW formulaic type thing, and then just like cross the shows over and have big events and stuff like that. I can see that. And I know people probably gonna pop into the chat, oh no, CW, they suck. It's not about the CW TV shows. It's about getting the content of having all of them connected, and it's Disney and their budget. That's the difference. TV shows got a low budget, so it's kind of cheesy. It sucks. But on Disney Plus, I think seeing a crossover event like that would be kind of dope, even if it's in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, that could be what propels us past the sequels.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I can see that. You see T-Red popping in with a $5 super chat.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It says, Boba steals child, interrupting custody transfer to Ahsoka, meaning Mando crew and Ahsoka have to rescue child from Gideon with Boba betrayal, maybe. Or maybe it's Boba that steals it for
that
Moff Gideon.
I think we're definitely going to get to a point where somebody's going to end up being revealed to be a traitor to on the side of Moff Gideon, right? I don't know who yet. I don't know if it's a character that we've seen yet or how that's going to work, but somebody's going to end up like betraying them in some way. And
yeah, I see something like that.
It's going to be because I think what you'll have to set up, or what I think they're going to set up eventually, is you've got the Darksaber angle already. And so somehow Bo-Katan is going to have to get her hands on that Darksaber. And I don't think she's gonna be the one to get it from Moff Gideon unless somebody hooks her up with a saber, which I don't think we're gonna see anything like that. But what I could see is a Moff Gideon showdown with Ahsoka, and like all of these characters kind of converging. Din Djarin gets the child over to Ahsoka, thinks it's a wrap, but then something goes down, and maybe Moff Gideon shows up there, like brings the drama to them.
So now I got a question then. So is this before Rebels?
No, this is after.
Okay, so didn't Bo-Katan, what's he saying, when it got stolen again? Because didn't she get the Darksaber
back? Yeah, so she got it back, but that's when the Great Purge happened. So apparently, and those are some of the gaps that we haven't had completely filled yet.
Gotcha.
But so apparently in Rebels, she gets it back. Sabine, gets her the saber back. But then we go on through the end of Rebels. But sometime after or between what we saw at that part in Rebels and where we are in The Mandalorian, somewhere in there, they had this Great Purge where probably Moff Gideon and his troops went in and basically wiped out Mandalore and like took all the Beskar and basically left them for dead and scattered, like the last little few of them scattered and went into hiding. So that was something that happened after what we saw with her in the Rebels cartoon. We just don't know how exactly that played out yet.
How it happened.
Right. Okay. So for me, what I'm curious about is, like you, number one, how did that play out? But two, who's going to be the person to kind of deal with that dude and get that saber back? Like, what is it going to take to get the Darksaber out of that man's hand? And how are they going to handle that? And I think they're setting up Gideon to be a villain that requires a kind of all-star team up.
Like a multitude.
It's not just going to be a Din Djarin and a couple of. It's going to take everybody kind of doing what they got to do in order to get this back from this cat. So,
gotcha.
That's going to be the interesting thing to me, though, is like, do we get that wrapped up at the end of this season and we go into the next season with a whole nother set of implications, or does it end up being a situation where maybe he wins at the end of this season and maybe he escapes with the child, and you go into season 3 with him having Baby Yoda or something like that. And then, of course, where the hell does Boba fit in all of this? Because look, Boba's been out there chilling for a reason. Like, he ain't just been keeping tabs on his armor and shit because he ain't got nothing better to do. He knows, Boba knows some shit. And the thing about it is, we don't know where this baby came from. We don't know if he's a clone yet. I don't think. We don't know that information yet. But something tells me that Boba Fett's existence in this situation has some kind of direct impact to what's going on with this Imperial remnant and what they're trying to accomplish. And Baby Yoda fits into that also. And so I think that's where we're going to find out kind of where Boba's part of the mix comes in. And it's going to be a situation where Boba's going to end up being the wild card. Like, I think that cat's going to be the one that kind of throws a wrench into the mix for everybody. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with that dude.
I think he'll probably be a wild card, but I think he'll probably be like a double agent or triple agent. He'll start off evil and start off good, then go evil, and then go back to being good. We'll see how he evolves in his own TV show. Right. I see Dan 200 TF in here with something interesting. He says Giancarlo be saying too much about season 2, even more info than what the trailers give us. He even said he'll 1v1 someone with the lightsaber, and he's pretty much guessing that's going to be Ahsoka.
Yeah.
If that's true, what do you think?
I think, well, first of all, he better have his game ready because Ahsoka's going to tax that ass, bro. Like, it'll be a dope. Yeah. Now, that'll be interesting, too, is like to see what his saber skill level is in comparison to hers. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know yet, but he could be force sensitive, maybe. That would be crazy if he was.
Yeah,
like, if Moff Gideon was force sensitive, bro, like, that's got a lot of implication, man. Because you could be, and I know we talked about the whole situation with George Lucas and his plans for the sequel trilogy, and like how he was, and his thing was he wanted Maul to be the big bad and to have an apprentice in Darth Talon. Now, okay. I know, in Rebels we saw that Maul got cut down, and on After Dark we talked about a way that we could still technically get that in a sense if they wanted to go that route, because Maul could have trained her during that time between when he shows up when we last saw him in Clone Wars and when he shows up in Rebels. Like that whole time where he was, trying to seduce Ezra to the dark side or whatever, he could have had her on standby. But what if there was another apprentice? Or what if we found out that Palpatine had a secret apprentice outside of Vader? And maybe again, I don't know if they'd go this far with it, but what if that was Moff Gideon? And Moff Gideon was secretly this like force trained Jedi, like, or lightsaber wielding motherfucker that like was just there in case like everything went bad.
Right.
And we're finding out that this was like, because the whole thing is, we know for a fact already that Palpatine had like 50-11 contingency plans, right? Mm-hmm. Like he had all this stuff planned in the event of his demise. And who's to say that Moff Gideon is not a part of that in some way? And so if that's the way they want to take it, and they want to say that maybe Moff Gideon was the apprentice, or maybe he was just a crony or something like that, or maybe we don't even know who, maybe there is an apprentice and we don't even know who that character is yet. Like it's so many different ways it could go, bro. And it's just like,
there's a lot of
this is why IB's on that Star
speculation
Wars,
town
man.
behind us.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like this is what I'm here for. This is why I get on here and talk my shit, because this is the Star Wars that I've been waiting for. I want to be sitting here for hours speculating on what could happen, what I want to see happen.
Right. What you want to happen. Right.
Not trying to dissect some shit that some lady that had no clue what she was doing. You know what? We're not gonna go there.
That's probably why. Yeah, they're just ignoring her. Just Filoni and Favreau. It's like, you're crazy lady. It's okay, crazy lady. Just stay over there, crazy lady.
T-Rev hits with the dope comment, says Kira at Al and at Lavas. That's true, because Kira was like getting trained up and was doing her thing, and she's not Twi'lek, but she could damn sure be the secret, or be like Maul's new apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the Solo movie, he tells her to come join him and shit. So she could do, he could put her in a new tier of power, because old dude that was running Crimson Dawn is or I can't think of his name now, Paul Bettany's character in Solo. He got, they took care of him at the end of the movie. So Kira's out there somewhere. Now, wouldn't it be crazy if somehow she was linked to it? Now, I know by that time she's, older or whatever, but maybe, she's got some kind of tie to what was going on in some kind of way, or she's a part of this little plan that was going on. Who knows, man? It's so much material.
It's very possible.
So much material, man. But let me ask you this question: what did you think, going back to the episode? What was your impression of the combat and how the Mandalorians, once they got down, when they went to infiltrate the ship and all that, man? What'd you think?
I'm gonna answer that, and then I'm gonna read this super chat that we got from Leonard E. Tuck. Appreciate that. But to answer that, I think that the combat is, I think it's good. It's better. But a little, I hate to say slow.
Okay.
Like you can almost kind of, it's not that you can tell the choreography too much. It's just like,
right.
It's obvious that that's coming. So if they didn't block that, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, come on, he was really spotting and waiting, and then tried a certain but it's better though. It does look good for what they're doing with it. So, on the combat, I give it a A-.
Got you. Okay.
It's still pretty high. It's not disappointing but I think they could tighten it up a little bit.
Got you.
Just tighten it up. And then Leonard Etuck came in with the $4.99 super chat. Thanks again.
Appreciate you.
Said maybe Gideon was a former Inquisitor.
Oh yeah, man. Like that's definitely a possibility. And if my man was an Inquisitor, then that means that Ahsoka fight, bruh, that might be one of this could end up being, and I really hope that they go for it when they do have this fight. But this could be like the live action lightsaber battle to redeem Star Wars, because
could be.
We haven't seen what was the last chat? Hit me up and let me know. What was the last dope live action lightsaber fight in Star Wars? Like, when was the last time we saw? Was it the prequel trilogy? Like, was the Battle on Mustafar the last epic live action lightsaber battle? Do we count anything we got in the sequel trilogy in that? Anything at all?
I think the best one for me still, the number one was Maul versus Obi-Wan and man, I had his name and now it just slipped my mind. Was it
Qui-Gon?
Qui-Gon?
Yeah,
Qui-Gon. Yeah, Qui-Gon. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one too, man. But for me, that Obi-Wan Anakin battle on Mustafar, bruh, like that shit was so next level. And I like, some people used to say that it was too over the top. And I'm just like, how? Like, when you think about what was at stake in that moment, and the peak of, both of them kind of being at the peak of their ability, so to speak. Like, that fight had everything maybe it went on just a tad bit longer than I would have liked, but it was like, man, that fight was just epic, bruh. And it was the saber work in that was incredible. And I just want to see, what if we get something that rivals that, because I don't feel like we did in the sequel trilogy. I just don't. But
I mean, I can see that. Some people back and forth here in the chat. Most people agreeing with me with the Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan.
That's cool. That's what's up.
People still saying the Rey and Kylo.
Bro, that was more symbolic than anything else. Like, that was more him exuding his like dominance over her than it was an actual lightsaber battle. Like, to me, that was just
pretty much. Yeah, I agree with that.
It didn't seem like
he wasn't really trying to hurt her either way.
No, for real. And not even that, but there wasn't any, there didn't seem to be much choreography to that. Like, that wasn't that didn't seem like they really took any extra effort to really put anything like the Rian Johnson, when, say what you want to about that throne room scene. Visually, it was amazing in my opinion. Like, when that was the one thing I'll say about The Last Jedi was that throne room fight with Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
When they went at it, like, that was some crazy shit. But again, even in that, the saber work itself wasn't all as intricate as what we saw kind of with the prequel trilogy, which makes sense because, again, we're talking about, but Rey barely having much training at all, and then Kylo being more forceful. I mean, he was pretty tactical with what he was doing and whatnot, but it just, I want to see something incredible. And Dan Mitchell brings up a good point. He says they weren't fighting each other though; they were fighting against, his guards or whatever.
Yeah.
And talking about a duel, if we're talking duels, then it really wasn't anything in the sequel trilogy, I think, that even touches what we got in
before that.
Before that. So, if my man was an Inquisitor, if Moff Gideon was an Inquisitor, and now he's got that dark saber, and he's gonna have a showdown with Ahsoka, that has potential to be like right up there as one of the top lightsaber fights, live action. Because I'm probably gonna be, well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that some of the animated lightsaber fights kill anything we've seen in live action, with the exception of like the two top that would, like the Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan versus Maul, and Vader.
I mean,
like
you have to separate them though. Like the ones
yeah,
we
you
get
do
from
have
live
to.
action, you have to separate because I mean they can do whatever they want in animated. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they want.
Right.
Period. It's almost a little easier to do. So
well, but here's the thing
I
now.
don't even like comparing
Here's the thing now, though. You're now bringing characters that we've seen do that shit in the live action because we've seen Ahsoka
well, they're finally starting to be able to catch up.
Right. Well, exactly. Well, then that's what I'm saying is that means my expectations for this fight are very high because I know what Ahsoka's capable of with them sticks, man. Like I know what she can do. So if she get out here on some parry thrust shit, I'm gonna be like, no, man, I want to see Ahsoka. I want to see her get down. Like I want to see her get down.
So I don't know. It seems like we're working towards getting more force inside of the Mandalorian. It's not too much. They introduced a little bit in season 1 with Yoda, but they didn't.
Well, I feel
do
like
too much with it so far.
I feel like you can't have Star Wars without some semblance of the Force anyway. Like it doesn't have to be Force centric. Like the stories you tell don't all have to be centered around the Force per se, but to have it not have not be even like something that is in the background of what you were doing with the Star Wars content, like you have to tell a really, really focused story in order to do that. And I think where you're going with once you made Baby Yoda Force sensitive, then there had to be a point where the Force becomes more of a focus in the series. Because you got to explain to me what his evolution with that ability is going to be and how what the significance is of him being Force sensitive. Because Star Wars, the one thing that they've always done is put a certain level of focus or priority on Force sensitive beings. So, with the exception of Rian Johnson, where like everybody had the Force apparently, and little kids were sleeping with brooms like Turbo outside on breaking and shit. Like it is what it is. But I mean, you generally have a different level of focus within the context of the story when you are a Force sensitive being. So once they set that up in Mandalorian with Baby Yoda, I was like, okay, so then I need to know where this is going. Like I need to know if he's that strong, you got some explaining to do then. Because we don't see him at all in the sequel trilogy. We don't hear from him. So I need to know where this little motherfucker was and what he been doing.
What's been up with that?
He got some power.
Yeah, it's just they got a while to go because I'm still curious, even though it's early in the game. I'm wanting to know how they're either going to tie it into the sequel trilogies or if they're going to just at least reference it at some point and then jump over it and be able to start a future timeline. You know what I mean? And just go after that. Will it eventually tie back into the 2 lightsabers that she buried, or is there a whole nother story out there that includes light side, dark side that we just haven't heard yet, and we're telling that story, and then we'll go get the sabers some other time. So
I definitely think that that's where we're going. Is that they're in the process of laying the groundwork for some threat that is different from what we've seen and that is going to raise the stakes, I think, for Star Wars in general just going forward. And I think it's going to be a situation where it's not going to be so much of a focus on light side versus dark side as it's going to be, we gotta eliminate this for the survival of the universe at this point. Like something is threatening the very fabric of existence, and we got to deal with that. So I don't know, what form that's gonna take. I don't, again, fingers crossed. Evil Baby Yoda. That's. I'm still riding that. I'm sorry, as adorable as he is, I just want to see him like, you're damn right I ate the baby eggs. And I'm gonna tear you up too if I need to. Like that's what I want. I want Baby Yoda to be a little gangster. But
do you think that they'll give him a name by the time this is all?
He'll get a name.
The end of the season.
He'll get a name. He'll get a name. I don't know what it'll be, but he will get a name.
I'd like to see that.
That'd be dope.
Episode 4 predictions. Let's see in the chat here. Out of 10, not out of 9, not out of 9.5, out of 10. What do you guys think the next episode is going to be like? You think it's going to be 7 out of 10? We got any 9 out of 10s? What are y'all thinking? To me, this episode was a 10 out of 10. For Al, it was a 9.5 because of the wig. Do you think that there will be any other hiccups next week that Al will have to deduct points from again? I see LP3 Customs being a smartass, saying 7 out of 10.2.
I like it.
There's always that one.
Always that one.
We got Danny Stockpool with 6 out of 10 for filler. Saul Goodman, gonna give it a 9. Coachella Coastal, what's up? We didn't see you earlier. A strong 8. Laura Powell, 7.5. She's got some 6s, some 7s. We got Linky L giving it a 10 out of 10. Okay. T-Rev week 6.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So we got some mid to high expectations for this next one.
Well, I think I'll start and I'll say this. There won't be an episode going forward under a 6, in my opinion. Like there's got to be like, if there is a 6, it'll be the next episode, and then we getting like 9s and 10s going forward. But I think this next episode is going to be another 8, 9, maybe even 10, because I think what we're going to get is now there's going to be shit going on the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it's not like now we've got goal now we've got like, we got to start getting it going. We got to start getting to the point. So I think even this next episode, if there is no Ahsoka right away, and they do go back and meet up with Grief Karga and Kara and them, even that's got to be like significant. You know what I'm saying? Because, and here's the thing I'll say: if we don't get Ahsoka, I think if we don't get Ahsoka next episode, then we get some more insight into Boba. Now he might not show up and we might not have the confrontation, but there's gonna be something that kind of reminds us that he still got something to say with this also.
Okay.
Now,
well, they're saying this next episode is going to be directed by Carl Weathers.
Okay.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
So could be. I mean, I don't know how Star Wars savvy he is.
Yeah. Well, talking to him,
I don't know if that matters.
Him like I got him on. When they did the special, the round tables that they were doing when they did like for the season 1 recap or whatever you want to call it, they talked to him during that, and he said that like he was aware of Star Wars and the phenomenon that it was, but he had never really engulfed himself in it to that ability. He was more of a passive, admirer of the franchise until he got involved, and then that's when he realized how deep it was. So I think now he's kind of learning more about what the lore and things like that, but I don't know how deep into it he is from that respect. But that's the cool thing about it is that's why he's got Favreau and Filoni there, because
I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah, they can help him fill in the gaps. Like if he's directing, then that episode will take on his personality and kind of the way that he wants to portray it on screen. But you got him you've got Filoni kind of as the Kevin Feige of that situation, because he's like, okay, well look, yeah, we can go this route or we can do this, but we got to make sure we hit these beats. Like we've got to show this scene, or we've got to represent that in this way, because it needs to connect back to, whatever it is that we're talking about. So that's where, I think it's cool, and the format that they have, because you can have these different directors kind of giving their vision and their interpretation, but we don't have to worry about it being lost in translation, because you've got Favreau and Filoni there to make sure that everything kind of lines up the way that it should.
Gotcha. I see T-Rev in here. He says, I think it's a Grief and Kara episode. Mando might not be in it. You think?
That'd be interesting.
They were saying that some parts of the Mandalorian TV show were more or less about other characters, not always with him.
We'll see, and that's gonna be interesting to see, because we're getting to that point where there was those rumors before the season dropped that I think it was around episode 4 where they said the series kind of takes this turn and the focus shifts.
But yeah, but you got to think about it though. Okay, so like we're saying right now, we can't really waste any more episodes out of the 8 for filler. Right. And right now we know that he knows where to go find out about Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. So this could be the episode 4 is definitely the climax of any midpoint, because it's this is definitely the midpoint from all 8 episodes. So from here, like, this episode has got to really change the narrative on what the show started out being in the first place. And everybody was already raving about how the first episode was and all the action and implications with the pearl and blah blah blah. So episode 4 is going to have to be another episode 1. Yeah, as far as content reaction goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything where you're sitting there going, okay, damn, we got another episode 2 on our hands or something like that. I think, even if you don't have Mando in that episode, or if he's not a focus in that episode, you still got to be able to build the scenario or the plot and to progress the plot in a way that keeps people like right on the edge of the seat. Because I don't think at this point you can be satisfied with just like, okay, here's the episode to get us to the next point. Like, you've got to have something now that, again, gives people a little more insight into what it is that's connecting all of these characters, or that will end up connecting all of these characters. So I think that, from that respect, it's going to still have to be not necessarily action-packed, but there's got to be, like, you can't have any downtime. Like, it's got to just be like,
right.
Like, if Mando isn't there to begin with, and it's just, Greef Karga and Cara Dune, then there's got to be some reason or something that brings them together. Because I think we've already seen in the scene that they're there together at some point, which we do, of course, expect them to meet up. But I think it's got to be something that kind of drives them to that. You know what I'm saying?
To happen.
It can't just be hey, let's go find out what Mando's doing. Like,
nah. Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while.
Right. Nah, you got to have something where it's like it pushes them in, because I think it's going to set up this whole concept of this being something that, like, the Force is at play here in terms of just like destinies changing, or like people's paths, just crossing, or whatever the case however you want to look at it. Like, you're setting up something that's basically insinuating that these events unfolded this way for a reason. And so this is going to kind of keep pushing you kind of along in that direction.
Right. Yeah, I'm over here reading the chat. I'm seeing some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
That
what we got?
Could probably tie some stuff together. So they're saying that episode 4 is a prison escape of was it the Mythrol, the dude from episode 1?
Okay.
So he's saying that's the what that's supposed to be. There's some argument back and forth on whether or not the Mandalorian walks up to Cara and Greef at the beginning or at the end.
Got you. Okay.
But there is one thing that I see could make a good point. It's from Dan Mitchell. He said the broke-ass Razor Crest puts him down in Navarro. And that's why I don't think Ahsoka is going to be in episode 5, because of the problems he's having with his ship still from episode 3. So episode 4, he's going to have to maybe stop off somewhere, get the proper repairs.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when he meets up with the two of them, because, they do show him walking off the ship with the two of them standing there or whatever. So it's a possibility. To be honest, I don't see them not having the Mandalorian in the episode in some capacity.
Right.
Or Din Djarin, should I say. I don't see him not being in some capacity. But there is a possibility that maybe they do split off at some point and it turns into more of a Cara and Greef episode. But I don't know. I don't really think so, because if you think about it, the Mandalorian, it's mostly the dude in the suit. You know what I'm saying? It's a stunt double. It's not Pedro. So, even if they don't have him talking much in this episode, how many lines does he really need to have per episode? Like what?
Yeah, well,
10.
I think
he's short, sweet, to the point.
That's all up to what Pedro Pascal negotiated, right? Like,
yeah. So I'm saying
it's all got to do with, or I think it all comes down to what they decide, or what direction they decide to take with it going forward. Are they going to make Din Djarin take a back seat? Are we going to focus on some of these other characters? What or how do they want to do this? And the question,
Right.
the one thing that I start to think about is, what was the original plan, or what was their thought process originally, and has that changed at all? Because
Right.
it could be a situation where initially the focus wasn't going to be on Din Djarin as much as it was going to be the baby, or vice versa. It could have been that the focus was going to be more on Din Djarin, and the baby was they didn't know how the baby was going to be received. But I think they knew what they had on their hands before they dropped the shit. Like, I think they knew Baby Yoda was going to blow up, and so
Right.
I think they
Yeah.
wrote the story for that to be kind of the focal point. But
Okay.
I think Din Djarin's role in that has probably evolved from what they were thinking originally, just because of some of the shit that's happened back, like, behind the scenes. And that's not to say that they haven't, mended that and worked that out or whatever, but I think there was some changes and some what let's say a contingency plan, if you will, put in place in the event that Pedro decides he wants to take his ball and go home, like that. And
Yeah. Well,
I think that's what we're seeing with some of
some of the
these
content
scenes.
here.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
kind of like low key, even letting the fans know, like, look, the show is about this dude.
Yeah, but
or it's not really about this dude.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's how they've been playing it. And so, as they go forward, with season 3 and all of that, how Din Djarin is represented, or how much focus is on him, I think all depends on where this story ends up at the end of this season. Because I can definitely see like a season 3 where he's maybe not even a focal point.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know. I see a lot of people in here. What is the significance of the armorer to come back at all? Because I see, people are like, she's got some explaining to do. I see some people trying to say, like, maybe she'll fight Bo-Katan or Sabine. Like, what significance does the armorer have anymore? And the reason why I'm even entertaining this is because most shows, when it comes to their main character, they get some kind of an upgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Either it be their suit. We saw in season 1, they upgraded his costume almost damn near off jump. He got the better armor, which was great because I really wasn't feeling what he had at first. He was very bland. So do you think that this season they'll upgrade, if not him, you think they'll upgrade maybe the ship? I see people asking about Slave 1, like, where's that at? Do you think maybe Boba pop in, save him because his ship is falling apart, and then boom, hey, here, take this ship. I really don't want it.
I can see that.
What do you think?
Because I think whatever Boba's arc is, right? Whatever he's decided, I think I'm starting to lean towards Boba having decided, like, the whole Mandalorian and the armor and whatnot, that he's done with that shit. I think, he's either learned something or he's changed his mind about that, or maybe, and it could even be that he doesn't really have an attachment to the armor the way we thought he did. You know what I mean? Maybe he's following them and tracking them for a whole different reason. And maybe his interest was more so in the child than it was the armor itself. Like, we don't know yet.
Right.
And so I can see a scenario with Boba where it's like he don't want to have shit to do with Mandalorians, the Creed, none of that. Like, that's not his concern. And somehow somebody educates him on his father or something like that, to where it's like, no, well, Jango Fett was actually a Mandalorian, and he actually was this, and it's your, duty to fulfill or to carry on the tradition of, something like that, to where his story, when we get the Boba Fett spinoff, is him rediscovering his roots as a child of Mandalore, and being and perhaps Boba ends up being somebody to challenge for the throne. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? It could be something like that, or something where he just basically then just truly embraces, like, the Mandalorian creed and comes back that way. But I could see a situation where if he has kind of sworn everything off, where he gives Din Djarin Slave One. Like I could definitely see that. I could definitely see a scenario where Boba gives Din Djarin Slave One. But the only thing I worry about with that is like, will fans really be down with that? Like, would fans be cool with seeing? And let us know in the chat too, for real. Would y'all be cool with seeing Din Djarin pushing Slave One across space, or would you feel like Boba should be the man doing that? What do you think?
Right. I mean, it kind of begs the question of what's Boba going to be flying around in his own TV show if it happens.
Right. Well, see, I mean, that could always change. I mean, Boba could link up with just about anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could create a scenario where he links up with anybody, but
he's like a nomad.
Could be.
Just travels around, and they know him from his reputation being a bounty hunter. So he just travels from planet to planet, catching ride to ride. But like, I mean, I don't know, how much history do we have from Boba Fett? Like,
I mean, up until,
do we know backgrounds about him?
There's some stuff that we know. So we know everything from, you know, him, you know, being with his dad on Kamino, him on Geonosis watching, you know, Mace Windu chop his daddy's head off. And then from there, he kind of falls into the bounty hood lifestyle. He links up with, you know, a couple of bounty hunters, and he's doing that. He ends up having that run-in when he gets a little older with Asajj Ventress and that situation. But to be honest, I don't know. And then we get to what we know of him as an adult. Like once we hit the OG trilogy and him being a bounty hunter, working for the Empire, and being sent to go get Han Solo and all of that. You know, that's what we know of him last. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we have anything in terms of, well, what happened to him after Return of the Jedi. Like, as far as we knew, he went down in that Sarlacc pit and it was
that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is some stuff, if you go back and watch, and I'm sure, again, plug tomorrow on the community stream, Josh gonna take us down Rebels and Clone Wars lane and let us know.
Yep.
We're gonna watch the more key episodes of both. I'm sure he's gonna throw in some of those Boba Fett episodes from Clone Wars. So I think in those, maybe if we go back, or once we go back and watch them, maybe there's some stuff there that could maybe give us a little bit of a hint on where we could be going with Boba. I doubt it, though. I don't think there's much there that would give us any indication of where his arc is going at this point. But we do know at least that. Like, we have enough information, I think, to know what Boba was doing all the way up to Return of the Jedi. I think the question just becomes, all right, so what happened once he climbed his ass out of that Sarlacc pit?
Right, yeah.
Like, what happened at that point? Because that's the thing, the missing link to that, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that is a good question, because I didn't realize there was so much love for Boba Fett.
Yeah, man. Like because Boba had in Legends, Boba had a big ass role. Like they built Boba out in Legends. I don't know too much about his story in Legends, but I know that he survived in Legends and then kind of came back and reestablished himself. And so he had this cult following going all the way back from the Legends material. And so, you know, you got the Boba stands out there that's just like all hyped up to see him back now, and interested to see how, you know, this new canon with Disney Lucasfilm, how they build him out and how much of that mirrors his arc in Legends. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Because like I said, I'm not really deep on the Legends material. I know some stuff of it. There's a couple of things that I've gotten kind of familiar with here recently. But yeah, that's one of the things that I'm really interested to see. And I might even go back and do some research on, is to see what his story was going back into Legends, because I think that, you know, again, a lot of this stuff that we're seeing is like a lot of those ideas are gonna come from that Legends material and kind of be adapted from there.
Right. Yeah. That's it's interesting. It's very interesting, because there's so many different ways that they can go with that. That is in some ways untouched, and in some ways very fresh. That it's interesting to see what they decide to do, and hopefully they'll get it right when they actually decide to tackle it.
Yeah, and I think just the concept of exploring Mandalorians period is a damn good idea, because that's a faction of Star Wars that is embedded in the lore, but that really hasn't gotten that much exposure, especially in this new canon. Like, we don't really have a strong Mandalorian presence, if you will. And now we do, or we're starting to get that. And I think stronger. Exactly. And I think that's a dope way to go, because it doesn't have to be just strictly Jedi versus Sith, light side versus dark side. You can kind of bring in these Mandalorians, and they can kind of teeter-totter and jump back and forth, or even be on both sides of that conflict, if you will. So it gives a unique perspective to some of the stuff we already know, and it sets up some really interesting possibilities for the future. So I'm here for that shit, man. Like, I want to know.
Most definitely.
I wants to know what they gonna do.
Like, so you do think that could be something? I mean, I kind of touched it earlier with the question, but like, do you think that there'll be something that they'll do in the for the future movies, like a combination of like a Mandalorian background with Force powers, and maybe diving more into the dark saber and what it's been going through versus light side Force? Like, you think that'll be the story that they'll try to tell?
Yeah, I think
after this.
I think whatever they set up going forward, I don't know if it'll focus on the Mandalorians, but the Mandalorians will be a relevant part of the Star Wars future going forward. Like, there's too much opportunity for juicy content with that shit for them to just throw it all out by the wayside. And again, when you've pushed all of your chips to the middle of the table, and you basically, at this point, I feel like Disney, Lucasfilm is betting the house on Mando. Like, they're dumping everything into Mando right now.
Yeah, like, so far.
So, with all of these cameos, with all of this connective tissue and all of that shit, you're not hearing anything about any movies. You're not hearing anything about any other content outside of what's directly connected to this series. So I feel like they put all of their eggs in the Mando basket. I hope Baby Yoda don't eat them all before we get to find out what's going to come out of it. But like, that's where we are right now. So I think going forward, the Mandalorian creed will have a prevalent role in Star Wars future. They might not be the focal point, but you are going to have some type of Mandalorian type character having some significance at going forward in the future. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I totally can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But again,
a lot that came out of this Mandalorian conversation.
This is what I told you, man. Like, this is. I'm telling you, for the next 4-5 weeks, man, I'm here for all the Mando talk, because you could do this shit all day, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. I see Whiskey Steve popping in there with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Sending some love for After Dark during the daylight. Star Wars is back, baby. # drunk calls with Steve, man. Appreciate that.
Man, you got to put a little more stank on that, though. Star Wars is back, baby. Let's go.
That's for y'all, man. As soon as we start doing it with the DC and Marvel, then
it's coming, man. It's coming, man.
I save it for you.
Hey, Marvel's ramping up too, though, bro. It's some Marvel. They are
definitely ramping up.
I know Marvel got some news, and we've been talking about it like throughout the week, man. But
yeah,
Marvel about to hit us with that Mariah Carey "Don't Forget About Us," boy. Like, they about to drop it real quick, man. Real quick.
Yeah, especially since they got Chris Pratt joining.
Yeah,
Thor 4
now,
which I think is interesting.
Well, but predictable though. Like, you had to know that they were going to continue that dynamic between Thor and Star-Lord. Like,
well, I mean, it was kind of up in the air for a little bit, to be honest.
Why?
Because they changed a few things about Thor: Love and Thunder, especially with them introducing the fact that Natalie Portman was going to be in it. It kind of changed the the aspect of it, because we were thinking they were going to try to do maybe some Guardians of the Galaxy, as Guardians of the Galaxy type deal.
Got you.
And then they were like, no, we're not going in that direction. And then they came out with Natalie Portman and Thor, Mighty Thor, and then now they're saying Chris Pratt's joining in. Right. So we probably won't get like an as Guardians of the Galaxy deal, but I do agree with you that they should at some point, even if it's just in the beginning, because like you said, the title of it was Big Salad.
Right.
So it would be kind of funny to see a dynamic between the two of them and them having to lose weight together.
Yeah,
being
man.
One sandwich short of fat. So
exactly. Real quick, what up, Mr. Anderson? Welcome back.
Mr. Anderson.
We've missed you. But yeah, man. That's the thing though with the Thor thing. The whole dynamic between him and Star-Lord, man, even if you move away from like the Asgardians of the Galaxy, like they set this whole bit up, and shout to Phil TMNT said the same thing in the two-way. They set this whole thing up with Endgame, man, with the whole thing, and in Infinity War, where they had my man, they told Quill that he was, fat in the face. He had been putting on the pounds and whatnot, and he started kind of having this little rivalry, if you will, with Thor. And
right,
I mean, what I'm trying to think of how I want to say it. Like, how good would it be to get Chris Pratt like giving Thor the business for gaining all that weight? Like, just based on their interaction and what we saw, how we saw them kind of play off of each other in Endgame, like, I mean, or Infinity War, like, man, bruh, like that shit was gold, man. Like, you gotta have that flavor in the Thor movie, and you gotta, even like I said, even if you don't put the whole Guardians of the Galaxy cast in there and have like that set up, you've got to have Star-Lord there giving Thor some shit. Like, that's got to be what it is. And maybe that's what, ultimately triggers Thor to decide, you know what, damn that, let me get myself back right. You know what I mean?
Back to shape, yeah.
Right. It's got to be something like that. And I could definitely see, them going at it and like, just imagine like Pratt trying to hang with Thor on some workout shit. Like, just imagine that comedy, bro. Like that's just gonna be hilarious.
I mean, he makes the most sense out of all of them because he doesn't have Gamora anymore, so that kind of throws things off, and they can come up with whatever excuse they want for Drax, Groot, and Rocket not being in there. So yeah, Chris Pratt being in there makes the most sense, and getting him towards losing all that weight and not worried about who's in charge anymore. Because, of course. Of course. So I see LP3 Customs. He asked, why are people so excited for Jane Thor? Personally, I don't think anybody's really like excited for a Jane Thor. I think what it is, for people who are paying attention to it closely, is that Jane Foster's Thor actually has a couple of backgrounds. She's not just the Mighty Thor. She's also becomes a Valkyrie at the end of it. So I think that people are kind of excited for the fact that Jane Foster's character could be reviving what people liked about Asgard and the Valkyries and all that stuff. So now new Asgard is going to have more of a background story and stuff like that. So I don't think it's just people are excited for Jane Foster Thor. You got the Natalie Portman fans, so of course they're going to be happy that she's finally coming back, because we didn't know if she was going to even do another Marvel movie. So that's more or less the direction they go with there. And plus, they're actually going to be touching on the romance, the love story between Thor and Jane Foster. He's always leaving her on Earth and going off and doing something else. So now you have it where we have a dynamic where she's going to be like right next to him. You would imagine anyway, do the whole time, and not just some kind of a weak human that he has to protect and parade around as his girlfriend. Now she's going to be on his level. So that would be a kind of a new dynamic too, for having a power duo in Marvel that's not Iron Man and Pepper, Tony and Pepper, or Cap and his dead little love there that he never really got till the end. So with Peggy. So
Yeah.
There's probably excitement for that and seeing what Tyke is going to do because he wants to do a romance. He's trying to tackle something that he's never done before, never even cared about. So I think that's where most of that comes from. Because I had to look up Jane Foster's background and everything as I was attempting to do a video.
Yep.
For us, and so I learned a lot about her transforming into the Mighty Thor from Jane Foster, and the secrets behind that, and how that came out, and then what was the deal with her cancer, and then the speculation and everything on that, on whether he's going to include it in there. I don't think he'll go the cancer route too much, only because it served a good purpose if you were to give her like a spinoff. If they decide to do like a Jane Foster Mighty Thor Disney Plus spinoff, then maybe the cancer route. But if we're just focusing on progressing the story for Thor and including things in this, then no. I mean, she shouldn't go through that kind of deal. She should just serve a purpose in the story where she gets the powers and has to help him out with whoever the villain is in the story, and then keep that going until we get to about I would say Secret Wars.
I got you.
Somewhere with the Secret Wars, Battle World. She'd have to be included in that because she's definitely in the later iterations of comics. So from there, they should have it to where she goes from being Jane Foster Thor into being a Valkyrie. But I don't think they should do that too soon. So
it's gonna be interesting to me, man, to see like how if the Jane Foster arc is something that we get in this movie and is resolved by the end of the movie, and it's just a thing for this movie alone, or if they're setting this up as the status quo for the next couple of movies, or for this phase, or whatever the case may be. I think it's going to be real interesting to see how they play that. I don't know how much the cancer thing is going to play a role either. I think the focus will be her helping Thor find out who Thor is supposed to be.
Right.
And I think bringing him full circle back to this idea of, it's seeming like he, at the end of Endgame, is on some, I got to figure out who I am type shit. And it's like, it's that, that old classic tale of like trying to get away from who you were always meant to be. And I think she's going to play a role in kind of helping him to get back to that point. And I think by the time we get through with this movie, we'll know whether or not she's like, it won't be something left up in the air, put it that way. Like we'll get a resolution at the end of this movie, and we'll know what's good by the time that movie's over. But what I'm curious about is, with these movies like Thor, with Love and Thunder especially, like how integral will that movie be in setting up what we have going forward with the MCU? I mean, I know like, Doctor Strange is going to have a real key role. The WandaVision show will have a key role. I'm sure Falcon and Winter Soldier will have a role. But, I just wonder about like the Thor movie. How much will that play a role? Like, are we going to get multiversal type elements and shit from that? Will we get Seed's planet from that cosmic perspective? How exactly is that going to play out for the next phase, and kind of setting up where we're going with the multiverse and the MCU? Because that's my thing, is just like, the one thing I'll say about the Infinity Saga was, I felt like every movie kind of served a purpose, with the exception of a handful of maybe Iron Man 2 to a degree, maybe
Phase 2 is kind of
Phase 2 is kind of
was rocky.
Phase 2 was kind of iffy.
Was rocky.
I
think the most important ones that came out of that was Winter Soldier. To be honest,
facts. But it's I think that was, and I think that's a lesson learned. I think as they went forward, they did a better job of trying to make all of the movies kind of have nuggets or pieces that were a part of the main story. So I'm curious to see if they continue that with these movies, and if Love and Thunder is going to be that, or if this is going to be kind of that playful transition into where we go next. Because I don't think And let me ask you this question when it comes to the next where we go with the MCU next.
Mm-hmm.
Tone overall for this new chapter. Are we going to go immediately into we've got a grave new threat we have to worry about, or will we see like seeds planted and will we build up to the oh shit moment? Because that's what I'm curious about.
I think it's a little bit of both. To answer your, I guess all the questions. First, Feige already said that he's going to do Earth-based and cosmic-based.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I see Thor: Love and Thunder being more of on the cosmic end, space end. And I've seen some of the people here in the chat, they're saying we're going to get like Beta Ray Bill, some of the kind of characters that we've been kind of wanting to see. And I think when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, so who does Thor really have that's going to be out there with him in space that can actually help him besides Captain Marvel? I think that they're trying to branch out and maybe use Captain Marvel to tell other kinds of stories, and then they're doing the same thing with Thor. Going to send him in a different direction in space and tell those kinds of stories, and they're just giving him a partner of sorts to do that with, because I think Thor is going to be more or less the character that's going to at least come across characters such as Silver Surfer, Galactus, some of the bigger name ones. And I think they're going to probably use Captain Marvel in more of the direction that's kind of like otherworldly yet Earth-based, if that makes sense. So it's not like, I don't mean it as like she's going to be coming back and forth to our planet of Earth, but more or less she'll be different. She'll be going to different planets and having to face other characters that maybe aren't too well known yet.
Gotcha.
And they'll use Captain Marvel in that way. I think she was doing good all the way up into some of the stuff and controversy that was coming up with Brie Larson herself.
Yeah.
So they're kind of making that character take a back burner, and therefore Thor is going to be more of the lead on all of that. So I feel like they gave him a partner with giving him Jane Foster. And again, that's probably because she said that her powers are going to be different from Thor. She's not going to have the same kind of powers that he has. So I think that that's more or less a smart tease, meaning when she becomes Thor, even though she's saying Mighty Thor is going to have different powers, blah, blah, blah. I think actually that's bullshit. I think Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, is going to have some kind of the same powers, but they're going to turn her into Valkyrie. And then that's where the powers differ, because when she comes Valkyrie, she doesn't have the same powers as Thor. She's got this, what's it called? The hard coming, some kind of weapon that she has, like a bracelet or whatever, but it's a weapon that turns into anything she needs, kind of multi-purpose. And she can see oncoming danger or death, and she has the fighting skills, abilities, and everything like that. So I think it'll probably more or less go that way, and we'll have, like I said, we'll have a Galactus, Thor, Jane Foster dynamic in space, and then they're planting the seeds with Doctor Doom, and they'll probably give him the Disney Plus and plug in all the different lore. So you can see people coming in there from Loki to Kang the Conqueror to maybe he'll have some kind of Wakanda background. You'll get all that in between. And I think that makes sense, because with what happened with Black Panther, that's definitely going to they're going to push that back. I don't think that's going to be wherever they slated that to be in the timeline. It's going to get rearranged with Doctor Strange. So they're probably going to lean more on dropping seeds for right now than trying to be like, oh shit factor being 100%. Because we still ain't seen Black Widow yet. We still ain't got WandaVision. We gotta get the Winter Soldier. Like we're not even talking about movies yet. We're just talking about what they're planning on doing with the TV shows. So until they start getting all that stuff out of the way, it's going to be kind of difficult to say exactly where they're going. I think they're going to they have to plant seeds. They have to answer questions about mutants and all this types of stuff. So it'll be a minute before they start hitting us with the oh shit. But the first movie, because they are saying that theatrical releases, they're still planning on dropping these movies in theaters.
Yeah, that was interesting to me, man. Like there's a lot of as we know, a lot of back and forth about people's opinions on what's going to happen with movies going into 2021 and box office theaters. I know the homie Josh is kind of put his stake in the ground, and they said it's a wrap.
They're gone.
It's done and over with. I really don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I know, when you look at the moves that like Disney's making and everything else, it certainly does seem like movie theaters could be on their way out, and I think they will eventually, or this is the start of them phasing kind of out, or the movie theater experiences we know it being kind of over and done with. But I just don't see, if it all comes down to the money, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like if you've got the opportunity to get, let's not even say $1 billion. Let's say you can get a $500 to $750 million movie out and make that and still make that kind of money. Like, how could you not take that? Try to take a stab at that,
right?
Like, now I get, they kind of tested the waters with a couple of movies, but look, let's just be real. This shit that they did put out and that they marketed, like Tenet, no, we ain't anybody trying to see that type of shit. Like, and that's not knocking the movie whatsoever, but like,
no, it's just
we talking box office. Like, I'm talking, and maybe that's what they're trying to. Maybe that's the 4D chess that Disney's playing. Is it's not that they're trying to force people to streaming, but so much that they're just trying to corner the market on box office.
Yeah,
because that's the thing is like you can't, as a studio or as a production company, you're not gonna put $100 million into a movie that you don't think you can make 500, unless you think you can make 750 back on that. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's putting a movie out to break even. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
no.
Maybe what happens is these smaller studios are kind of scared out of doing these big theatrical releases, but somebody like an MCU, somebody like a Star Wars, somebody like a DC, even once they get kind of get rolling, that they can still drop their movies, and those and those get hyped up as these huge events. Because now I can see this scenario where you go to a movie theater on an opening weekend and all of the screens are showing the next Avengers movie. Just throwing that out as an example, like or Spider-Man when it drops, and that being like so focused on just that one release, and that being the way that it goes, and like it becomes this jockeying thing where these movies that you have to have the kind of money to put up to guarantee yourself that level of success. Right. Now I can see that. I just don't know.
I think it's going to take a superhero movie, ironically, to save the theaters. Like honestly, and I was talking with Fanjexter about this, and he was like, it's sad if this is the way that the movie industry is going, but like nobody really cares too much about these what I call normal movies. You know what I'm saying? Like Tenet and stuff that doesn't really have to do with MCU, DC, or anything in that Star Wars, anything in those types of platforms. When they drop, like you said, some of these other types of movies, it's just like, nah. But Fanjexter, I will actually.
That's what I was laughing at.
I know. I already know it. But I think it's just going to take a superhero movie to save the box office. When people see that they're finally dropping Black Widow or finally coming out with Thor and all that types of stuff, they're gonna come back out and make sure that they either wear a hazmat suit or keep the masks on. Something's gonna happen.
Something's gonna, yeah. Well, here's the thing that I think, and the answer, Mr. Anderson's question, he says, do you think 500 mil plus box office returns are still possible? I do, and I'm gonna tell you how. If you're talking about, if you fundamentally restructure your theater setup, right, to say we go to a more intimate type setting where you're not just trying to cram as many people into the theater as you can, but you're there you go.
I took you back to yesterday.
Damn you, Tony Baker.
Cram.
Right.
So we're trying to get everybody up in these movie theaters. Cram.
Oh, bro. Oh my God, I'm dead. I don't even remember. What was I talking? Theaters, damn it.
Yeah,
theaters.
Cramming
in the theaters. Yeah, man. Like because okay, so look at it this way. Say you go to a theater, right? And you have your snacks, you got your popcorn set up, you got a nice dinner. I'm not talking about chicken strips and fish
and
sticks
Big Frank hot
and
dogs.
Big Frank, but yeah, like they got like, you know, legit meals or something like that. And then you've got your adult beverages and whatnot, and you're in the theater for, you know, you go see us, and let's say it's kind of an intimate setting. You, maybe another person, or you and a group of 4 or something like that, and y'all sitting at a table or whatever, and the ticket price on that is like $35 a pop, but you're getting this experience where you get like all of this these extra amenities included in that, like for a like double A plus type release, like a MCU release or something of like that. I would even throw Fast and the Furious in there, like something like one of these established
high franchise
high grossing franchises.
Yeah,
I think you could see like a 500 plus movie drop still.
Yeah,
but it's going. But the thing about it is, you're going to have to, or it's gonna have to be something that was, you're like, put it this way, you only talking about $1 billion plus movies, like in terms of what we were seeing before. So if you weren't cracking $1 billion, and that's why I'm saying I think Disney might even be trying to set it up where it's you know, Disney might try to set up a situation, because here's the thing, like, you know, Disney, I mean, I'm sorry, not Disney, but movie theaters are like closed up in a lot of places. But who's to say, you know, Disney, for instance, just throwing it out there, don't go out and buy up a slew of movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's legit what they use them for. Is it's like, oh, our big, this is where you'll come to see our big releases. We'll hype it up. You spend $30-$40, we'll give you a cheap ass t-shirt, give you some decent food or whatever, and we drop, you know, just throwing it out there like Doctor Strange 2. And that's what you're going to, and you go for a Doctor Strange 2 experience. You're going for the experience, and doing that, like, people would transition to that, because here's the thing that I think we still underestimate about us in terms of society. Motherfuckers is ready to get out the house.
Yeah.
Like, you still got people that are, you know, the pandemic is still real or whatever, and people are still out there, you know, being precautious and doing what they got to do. But like, it's not like people just decided they don't want to be out anymore. Like, I see it all the time. Like, people are dying for reasons to be out. And the moment you give somebody the assurance that they are safe, you know what I'm saying? Once we have the logistics figured out, if they decide to go that route, yes. But the question is, and I think the determining factor with all of this is going to be, what do the power players want? Like, and that's Disney. That's like the little handful of studios that have that ability to put out $1 billion grossing movie. Like, you gotta count Sony in that, because with Spider-Man, they could easily what they're doing with Spider-Man, that's easily a $1 billion movie back before, you know, the craziness. DC could push that. I don't know the numbers for like Justice League or BVS, but I know they did some pretty decent numbers there. I know the Fast and the Furious movies do pretty well. Those type of films, like, if those studios decide that they want to pony up and kind of make that type of a investment, then it can be done. But the question is that an investment that they want to take? Is that the direction that these companies want to go for moving forward? Or are they pushing all of their chips into the streaming table, to the middle of the streaming table?
I say mostly into the streaming, but I do think it's interesting if they were to do something like you said, maybe buy up some chains of movie theaters and repurpose them more for a personal experience, because with them shooting in IMAX for a lot of those movies and some of the 3D capabilities that they have, it would be interesting to see a movie, or at least maybe a series of short films that possibly come out in these theaters that they've bought up.
Right.
And like, could you imagine going to have like a Doctor Strange 1.5 movie experience? And what that is basically you in the VR world, but you have 360. You know what I'm saying? You can see all around you and follow them. Yeah, that would be pretty dope to be able to go to
that's what I'm saying,
a movie theater and have all these extra experiences and stuff like that with just that franchise.
An interactive thing. Like, you make that not interactive in terms of you're participating, but like where it's not just passive sitting there watching. Like, I'm talking like you get, because they even do that like at Disney. They have they have, you know, like these little showing, like they did something with like Monsters Inc. where you were on the kind of, it was like kind of like a ride, but you're literally
Yeah, I know
just
what
like,
you mean.
yeah, and then like, or I take you back. I'll give you another example. They did a joint where they basically had the old ass Captain EO in 3D, and this was back in 2012. But what it was,
Oh wow,
was it was 3D Captain EO, but there was environmental stuff. So like when there was a wind gust in the movie, you felt it in the theater. Like when the little character Hooter sneezed on screen, they like literally shot like water at you from the seat, and you got hit in the face with some water and shit. Like, I'm talking about stuff like that. And Fanjexter's got a point. If they do something like that, it'd probably be only in major cities. But that's what happens. And you know what? Kiss my ass, Adam. I am a Captain EO stan. MJ all day. Call me a boomer if you want to. I will use the powers of magic and R&B music and transform your ass. Play with me if you want to. You know how I'm
hit
about
you with
Mike,
that hammer
man.
time.
I got the Moonwalker tat on the calf muscle, man. Don't play with me.
Oh man,
I don't play with me.
But yeah, I can see it being in like major cities. It'd probably take a while before it trickled down to smaller cities. But see, that would be fringent on the side hustle that they do. And what I mean by that is, I think if they were to do that, go that route, movie tickets would be actually cheaper, but you would pay more for the experience of the entire movie. So you can probably go in there and get like a $5 movie ticket, but there's no way you're going to want to walk out of there after getting this $5 movie ticket and not go play or not go be part of some of the other movie experiences, VR experiences and stuff. I see them getting their money back and stuff like that, to where they'll be like, shit, I don't really care if you spend $10, $11 to go watch this movie. We can afford to do it $6 because you're constantly coming in here playing this Doctor Strange or watching this Doctor Strange movie that we got pinged up back here or whatever the case, be Black Widow and fall off the cliff type deal. You can experience all that in Disney movie theaters. So I think it would be an interesting way if they decide to do that, off of the money that they're going to get from pushing people toward Disney Plus. I think it's a good thing that you could be doing. My bad.
No, you good.
I don't know where I was going with that.
You good. I'm laughing at Whiskey Steve. He say theaters in Oregon gonna hand out hallucinogenics for the full immersive experience. They better put some warning labels on that shit, because could you imagine doing that and watching Multiverse of Madness? Like,
oh man, y'all asking for trouble.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, some dude probably snap off and be choking the hell out of some chick because he thinking,
man. I can totally
Scarlet Witch is on me.
Happening.
Get this witch off of me. Man, that should be all over, boy. Look.
See, now he didn't start something. Everybody's talking about LSD movies now.
Look, man, look. They ain't playing. Look, didn't they legalize, like, what you call it, during the election up in Oregon? Like, it wasn't just marijuana, because it was something else, because I was reading and I was like,
I saw something else, but I don't.
Portland
ain't
playing. Like, they over here like, hey, look, you can do all the drugs up here. You can do everything. We ain't tripping in Portland. Look, if you up here all the way this far north, my dude, do you all the way? Like,
no way. Lord Vito just said that. No,
no, bro. Like,
not legal,
they not letting you buy crack, bro. Not yet, anyway.
Oh,
but you know what's crazy though?
He said not yet.
Because what's hilarious is I when I saw that, right, when I heard that, I immediately thought about that radio skit in GTA 5 where they got the dude during the proposal, like, for legalizing cocaine in Los Santos.
Yeah,
bruh,
I remember that.
I'm just saying, like, I'm like, okay, so how much longer do we got before somebody really be starting to try to get
really, like, for real,
cocaine legal for real? Like, man.
No, man, that's crazy. But you know, who really goes to Oregon? Like, who talks about Oregon? Oregon sounds like a spice. Ain't nobody going there. So I can see that, them trying to get people
Oregon. No, look, let me tell you something. Oregon wasn't a place where people was going, but you got crackheads making pilgrimages now. Look.
They ain't covering that on the news. I can see that now.
You got fiends lining up, bro. Like, we finna make this march up north.
Right.
They doing they got the Oregon Trail for real now. Like, a crackhead broke in and stole 3 sets of clothing.
Right. Now even Mr. Anderson came back and said, "Nah, crack is legit legal." That is
Bro, that's
crazy though.
wild,
Like
man.
what?
That's wild, bro. I gotta read this.
Yeah. I'm totally gonna have to do some
they
research.
said it's not legalized but decriminalized. So essentially,
right.
what they
there
saying
is,
yeah, it ain't legal, but you can't go to jail for it. Like,
no, see, Mr. Anderson is wrong about that. He said they ain't gonna have it at 7-Elevens and no shit. No, lies. They're gonna have them at 7-Elevens and marathons, but that's just not what they're gonna call it. They're gonna call them bath salts.
Yep, they call them something totally different.
Come and get these bath salts. Thank you coming in. Yep.
Man,
try our finest bath salts while you're in the bath. You smoke this. You smoke this in a pipe, but you don't smoke it.
You don't do
it. You just light it up. Don't you do it.
Man, right. I got Dr. Window coming in, saying peanut butter and crack sandwich. Man. I'm Tyrone Biggums. I'm the official spokesperson for Oregon, baby. Like,
right. I can totally see that.
Like, man. Whoa, bro. Like, oh, this is crazy. But that's 2024, man. Like, that's where we are, man.
Hey, you know who needs to take this tactic and apply it though? Going back to what Fan Jackson wanted me to cover. Crystal Dynamics.
Let me tell you. They was on some crystal meth with that, boy.
They need to. Bruh. Because that's horrible that they lost 96%. 96% of the people who had bought. The people who bought Avengers.
I have to admit,
96% are gone.
I'm part of that 96%. Even though I bought my copy secondhand.
You did it. Right,
I bought mine bootleg. Well, not bootleg, but I bought a used copy from somebody.
It was a legal transaction that did not take place inside of a GameStop, or anywhere online.
Exactly. Exactly. Man. But that's even that was crazy, man. Like doing that, like I felt like I was doing a drug deal because like dude came up to the car in a mask. I like slid the money out the window. He like flipped the game into on the passenger seat of the car. I'm like, man, look, cops gonna roll up and see my nerve engine ass and be like, sir, step out of the vehicle. Be like, man, look, dude, I'm just trying to get this game right here, man.
Right. Yeah, they probably still take you to jail. Yeah.
Right. Be like, well, you need
got a copy of the Avengers. We're gonna have to take this Nerdvenger down to jail.
We don't trust any Nerdvenger that's actually playing this.
Teach him a lesson.
You spent money on this. What the hell's going on here, sir?
They're not even going to see this Avengers. He's got Crystal Dynamics.
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna book him on the Crystal Dynamics charge. Yeah, you realize this is a narcotic now, right?
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Unless you're in Oregon, they're just gonna confiscate the game.
Look, all I gotta say is I tried to offer my man Fallout 76 with that game, and he wouldn't even take that for.
That's crazy.
That's wild. He wouldn't even take Fallout. He wouldn't take
so many people couldn't get past the Iron Man part, and I don't understand like that. Which Iron Man part? The part where you first get him and then you got to fight the ships or whatever, and he doesn't have the full suit, or when you got to do that fly through part.
Man, that whole damn game is confusing, bro. Like, first of all, whose idea was it to make the pathway beacon like something you got to activate? Like, why do I have to press up to know where I'm going? Like, that's crazy. I'm like,
that is one thing I didn't like. There's no map.
There's no map.
No map. Yeah.
There's no map. There's nothing that really tells me where it is I'm supposed to be going. I got to hit up on this joint. Look, I'm already starting to get warmed up now because you got me ranting about this game. Oh, man, we finna have flashbacks in here. All I got to do is stay away from talking about the Hulk and his lack of action. I will say, I did notice they updated that because my man went to grab some ground and it was a dent. So I'll give him that. Give him that.
Yeah.
But that game, I tried so hard, man. I jumped in with y'all and it was cool, but they just need to bury that one, bro. Like they need to go on.
Did we actually get to play a game? I mean, I know you were playing it, but I think we
played. No, we played. We did a mission. We did a whole mission.
We did a mission? Okay.
We did a mission. We did one mission. We finally got one mission in. And remember, because I was ticked off because I got stuck with Cap. Right. And I was like, well, I got to be Cap, man. Cap got to run everywhere. And I'm like, man, no. That's another thing, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have a game where you got heroes that can jump, like, fly around, and then you got to let the ordinary motherfuckers have something. Like, you got to have some kind of cool way for Cap to get around. Because, like, I'm watching Iron Man and Thor take off, and I'm Cap like, I'm going. I'll be there in a minute.
You
like,
are struggling
man,
when it comes to Cap. And you know what's funny, though? Like, so I don't know if he's still here, but Captain Pennsylvania, of course, you know, he's in on that game. And his favorite character is actually Black Widow because of her traversal. She's able to actually shoot the grappling hook and pull up placement and swing and stuff like that. And when it comes to Cap, and for some reason, people like Kamala and Black Widow can run faster than Cap, which makes zero sense. Like, Cap should be taken off. He should be right behind Thor and Iron Man.
That's a low-key shot. That's a low-key shot at Cap, man. That's what they doing.
Ain't it? They probably heard you when you say he looks like a substitute teacher. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Like, hey, man, look, we're going to keep him that way.
We'll keep him there. You know what? That's not on me, man. I don't know.
Well, see, I'm sticking in there, though. I still play it occasionally. I still like the game for what it is. And the reason why I'm sticking in there is because they have been giving people who are still playing a lot of bonuses pretty much, and incentives and stuff. So I'm hoping that when they finally drop with some of them DLCs, Black Panthers and Spider-Man and all that, that they're not going to try to get too money hungry because they lost people, and they give it to us who pre-ordered the game.
I'll say that for free. And I'll say that. That's probably the last hope for that game is like character expansion. Because if you can put in some characters that people actually want to play as, and some better characters that people actually want to play against, you might have something. But I mean, at this point, man, I'm just like, why put more money into this trash? Like, scrap it and say, you know what, we going back to the drawing board on this one, man. Like,
I don't see them doing that. I don't see if Fallout 76 can make some kind of a comeback, even if they're begging people to come back. I think it's worthy of it too.
They had Fallout 76, Bethesda had no choice but to get that game right. They had no choice. Like, there was no return from that. Like, you had to go make that right, because the one thing that I'll say about Avengers as opposed to Fallout 76 was at least you could play Avengers when you first got it.
Yeah.
Fallout 76, some people got that game loaded up, started playing, and couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, at all.
Like, they were just out there. You had no clue what you were supposed to do. People were lost. People were getting done up by more experienced players and whatnot. It was wild when you first got it. So at least it wasn't that bad. Like,
right.
But it's definitely like, when you say something's bad, a multiplayer game is bad, it is now the new standard. It's like, is it Avengers bad, or is it Fallout 76?
Is it Fallout 76 bad?
Yeah, that's what
Fallout 76 came first, so it's that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that bad, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, we could probably look that up. I don't know how many people Fallout 76 lost, but I know they begging now. Was it like years later too?
Well, yeah,
like 3 years later, they're like, hey, come back, we're better.
Yeah, well, now they just dropped the Brotherhood of Steel into the game, so it's trying to get people back on that front, because of course everybody loves power armor. Everybody wants to be part of the Brotherhood, so that'll drum up some interest, but for how long? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do we get back to, you know, my thing is, even if it is Xbox exclusive or whatever the case may be, just give me a new Fallout with better graphics, a better graphics engine, and give me a bunch of story, like legitimate story stuff to do. Don't give me these filler missions that don't really add much to the story, and give me a story that actually give me some choices that actually mean something. That's the one thing about Fallout, is like, the choices don't really mean shit in the fourth Fallout. Like, as much as I love that game, like, there's not really there's a couple of big key decisions you have to make, but for the most part, everything else is inconsequential. And I would rather have a game where the stakes are just a little bit higher. So that's all I would say with that, man. Like, I still have hope for my Fallout, man. I'm a Fallout fan, so hopefully they. Well, I say
we take this into Q&A.
Yeah, man.
I'll start off with a question of what games is everybody excited to be playing soon. You know, we got the Marvel Miles Morales coming out, Spider-Man. We got Cyberpunk coming out here soon. I actually check that out. Take a look at that. I'm actually thinking about possibly buying that game. I might wait to see how it plays out with everybody, but it does look pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Gotham Knights to come out, which I think is not going to take too long. Now that we got the PS5s, I think that's supposed to drop sometime next year. I think
so.
I have to look into that.
Since you mentioned that, I want to tell people my part 2 story of my PS5 chase, if you will. I know I told you about this yesterday. So if you checked out After Dark, I kind of let people know. Was that After Dark when we did that? Yeah, it was After Dark, right? When I told everybody about the whole PS5 debacle and going the whole, all that time and not getting a system, and then lucking up and getting one from Best Buy, but it's not gonna be here till the 20th. Well, so Friday rolls around, and I'm sitting around the Nerve Venture Tower, kind of kicking back, enjoying these last few days of vacation. And I had been following this message board where people had been talking about, PS5 releases, who was in stock, when they would drop online, whatever. And I had been following this stock thing where it basically gives you the inventory that on a store by store location for certain chains. And so the rumor was that Target had made an announcement somewhere that starting on the 13th, any on-hand PS5s that they had would be available to the general public, meaning you could walk into a Target. If they had the 5, you could buy it in store, whereas before, on the initial release, everything was online. So I'm checking this little app, and I'm seeing that there's a couple of stores in my general area that still look like they had some PS5s left. Now, I knew damn well it was probably a slim to none chance that they were gonna have one, but I just figured, you might get lucky. So let's ride up and see what's going on. So I pull up to the first Target, and this Nerve Venger has the nerve to tell me. I walk up there, I'm all nice. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Good day. Would you happen to have any PS5s in stock? My dude looked at me and was like, nah, but we got these PS5 controllers.
With the hustle, though. The hustle.
I applaud the hustle, but kindly miss me with that bullshit.
Right. Exactly.
No, I'm good.
If I'm asking for a PS5, why the hell do I
want a controller if I don't have a 5 anyway? So then I said, okay, well, we'll go to another Target that's not too far away, see what they got, because they got a few more left. So I go in the back to the electronics section. Young lady stocking up the PS4 games. Didn't look like she was too happy to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? She looked like she showed up to work 15 minutes late, and her punishment was to go stock
them games.
So she already looked like she wasn't there for it. Yeah. But again, I walk up to her. I'm like, good afternoon, ma'am. I would like to know if you happen to have any we ain't got no PlayStation 5s.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, whoa, okay. So then I start trying to make a little bit of conversation. I'm like, okay, well, you obviously ain't having a great day. Let me see if I can bring you a little sunshine. That's what we do. That's right. You know how we do it. So I'm like, how many did y'all actually, we don't have any. Well, I know. I was just trying to ask. We don't know anything.
Don't ask no questions.
Right, pretty much.
Why are you talking to me?
She was like, take your nerve engine ass back home and get online and go try to find one, because I'm not here to answer your questions.
Right. Not at all. They're not about that life.
Customer service is an art form that is lost. And
oh, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man, people don't understand. I swear I'll never realize how these big ass corporations can sleep on the power of customer service. You wonder why, Apple, and I talk shit about Apple all the time, but you know why Apple's got so much brand loyalty? Part of that, or even better yet, you know why people put up with Chick-fil-A being closed on Sunday? And why people still line up and will be you see Chick-fil-A got a line 2 miles long.
Popeyes too. But go ahead.
But no, not here. Not in Texas, bro. No.
Really?
No.
Shit.
No, not in San Antonio, Texas. No. Popeyes, there's only one day of the week that Popeyes got a line. I call it Nerd Venture Tuesday. Because you get,
I knew you was going to say Tuesday.
They got Nerd Venture Tuesday because you can get a 2-piece dark for $1.99. And on that day, Popeyes got a line wrapped around the building. That's the only day, though, that you see it like that down here. But Chick-fil-A, though, on any given day, Chick-fil-A packed. And that's because Chick-fil-A customer service is through the damn roof. Yeah. I don't get no pushback when I ask for extra sauce. If right. I ain't never got to worry about my order being wrong. Nope. If they don't tell me that it's their pleasure, they give me free food. So I be trying to like look and being the crafty nerd venger that I am, I always try like on them days where the money kind of tight, I try to strike up a conversation with them so they can forget on purpose. So I can be like, you didn't say my pleasure. Let me get that free meal.
Right, man. I need some waffle fries. Give me another chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
lemonade
and make it spicy too. Like, man, but that's customer service, bro. Like it goes so far. People don't understand. Like,
yeah, it does.
You can say nice guys finish last all you want to. I say nice guys get to take their time.
Right. One of my first jobs, I was working at a KFC Taco Bell in the drive-thru, and my customer service was so up that we brought the percentage on the store was higher, and you're allowed to take tips.
Yeah.
Only if they try to give it to you. I was getting tips out the ass, man. Shoot. It was all about me up in that window. So customer service goes a long way.
I'm about to try to start a riot in the chat real quick. So chat. I need to know right now. Drop it in the 2-way. Who got the best chicken sandwich? Let's settle this right now. Right now, afternoon. Who's got the best
afternoon?
Who's got the best chicken sandwich?
And Mike Porter did bring up a good point. We did miss a super chat from him earlier. $1.99 super chat.
Oh no,
Thank
not
you
from
very
Mike.
Much. Not from Mike motherfucking Porter.
Not from Mike motherfucking Porter. Sir Glass Half Full himself. No,
yes.
We can't. No.
Yes. We did. And it says, thanks, Alan Lavis, for entertaining us. You are more than welcome, my nerd venture.
Man,
more than welcome.
Let me just say this real quick. First of all, thank you, Mike, as always. Adam, go sit your ass in the corner. Go sit your ass in the Wendy's spicy chicken, bro.
What?
Wendy's? You gonna put Wendy's spicy chicken in the same conversation as Chick-fil-A? Sit down, bro. Have the whole front row of seats, my guy. No, man.
The whole front row.
You cannot
lay down.
You just lay down. Yes. Make yourself a pallet on the floor. Stretch out. And just go chill, bro. Like no, man.
Oh my goodness.
McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King cannot be brought into this conversation, or Jack in the Box for that matter. You cannot bring. You gotta at least have. Wendy's is cool.
I feel like everybody's trying to avoid the controversy between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. That's what that is.
That's all this is. We got people bringing Wendy's in. Look,
right?
And of course,
Raising Cane's.
Why did I know Captain Pennsylvania would like Wendy's?
Why wouldn't you know that?
Well, it's so predictable. Just look at their logo. Yeah, I went there, Cap. I went there.
Oh man.
I went there on you.
Oh man.
Look at you. Now that's a place. Somebody schooled me on Zaxby's because I've got one kind of in my area, but I've never had Zaxby's. Zaxby's is put it like this. Let me put it to y'all this way. Zaxby's for me is about a 30-minute drive.
Oh wow.
Is Zaxby's worth me driving 30 minutes to go try this? Now there's an outlet mall. Should I wait? Like I need to have business in that area.
No, I mean, okay. So if you're out that way and you have your option to go to Zaxby's, I would go to Zaxby's.
You would go to Zaxby's. Okay.
I don't know if I would travel a full 30 minutes just to go to Zaxby's, but they do have like a chicken finger sandwich or whatever, a kicking chicken sandwich. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Fire.
Got you.
That's what I get every time I go there. The fries and the spices they put on their fries, fire.
Okay.
So you would not, if you decided one day, I don't want Taco Bell. I don't feel like going to Wendy's, Popeyes, none of them, man. I want to try something different. Go to Zaxby's.
Gotcha.
And that 30-minute drive, you'll it's worth it.
So I see a lot of people. I saw some Chick-fil-A's. I saw some Wendy's, which breaks my heart. Like, look, we all know what Wendy's is, man. But look, and real quick, Whiskey Steve. Yes, sir. I am in San Antonio, Texas. And I wouldn't necessarily say San Antonio is the heart of Texas barbecue, but we not very far from the heart of Texas barbecue. But even a Texas man wants some deep fried every now and again. Like, I will take some barbecues. You can smoke my meat anytime you want to.
Pause.
I was just trying to say something to make you look up for a minute because I knew it was coming. I timed that. I was like, oh yeah, look, he finna look up real fast.
I just gotta hit up on the personal line here, and my number one's asking, how could you even compare Popeyes and Chick-fil-A? And then she's like, what about Indies? Do you have an Indies down your way?
Indies? No Indies.
Yeah, I didn't think y'all had an Indies down there. I think that's more toward the mid area, mid-southern area.
What about Churches? Nobody showing no love to Churches chicken?
I've seen OP Slash came up with Churches, and you know what? No, because I have not been to a good Churches from New York all the way down to Kentucky. So,
yeah, let me tell you, Churches is so hit or miss though. Like, to be real,
yeah,
Churches.
I like Lee's chicken better than Churches.
Churches is hit or miss, man. It's rough, but like that's the thing, man. Because like I love chicken. Like I'm a chickenaholic, but in my advanced adult lifehood, me and chicken have a very particular relationship. Like I have to be in the mood for certain types of chicken. Like I can't just, like, some people like, just give me chicken. I'm like, nah, some days I want wings, some days I want strips, some days I want that chicken on a bone. So I can on a bone. I want my chicken on a bone. Yeah, because it's serious. It's a whole different game. Look, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. You know it's a whole different look.
It is different. No, I gotta have traditional. Don't be giving me none of that bonus. Now, it's not real.
Now I give people a little bit of inside info on your boy. When I was younger, I would not eat chicken. Like I would eat chicken. I would eat chicken, but I hated like chicken pieces. Like if you gave me a leg, a thigh, a breast, I'd eat it.
Okay.
But I take that back. I'd eat the white meat. I'd eat a wing or a breast. If you had to be a leg or a thigh, I'm pulling the skin off and I'm leaving the chicken.
I got you.
And then I discovered chicken strips. And so for a minute, I was a chicken strip snob. Like if you was going to get chicken, don't bring me nothing. Don't bring me back no chicken on no bone. Bring me some strips. Now, it just depends on my mood, man. Like sometimes I'm like, I need some chicken. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I just want them strips though.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes
but
you just want the strip.
It's
gotta have the bone.
Coachella Coastal, I need somebody to hook me up and put me on the Roscoe's. I know.
Yeah, I heard Roscoe's was
truth. Good. I have not yet had Roscoe's. OP says Pollo Loco.
Pollo Loco, yeah.
I can't do that because I'm in the heart of like Tex-Mex and Mexican food. So like to me, we snobs down here. We look at Pollo Loco like, what y'all talking about, man? No, the little Flaming Jalisco joint down the street got better bird than y'all. Like I'm trying to go there.
Right.
Like that's how we. Like down here, that it's all about that, man. But then I got my man Dr. Window says, eat them damn wings, Al, the Dukes. Yeah, it's a little local spot down here, Wayne's Wings, man.
Yeah, I like Buffalo Wild Wings right now is doing it up. They got that buy one get one on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah. Buffalo be popping every now and then. I'm more of a Wingstop man if I'm gonna do that. But like I said, there's a couple of local spots here though that, like, in my opinion, shit all over Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings. But
oh yeah. There's some local spots around here too. The same.
C-Fan Jackson, you lucky this ain't after dark, man, because I had a comeback for that. Strips are the butt of chicken. I'm gonna just say it like this. Don't act like you don't do it.
Right.
You know you do it.
You probably just went out to the store just the other day and bought some. So I don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it.
Oh,
Wingstop is good too.
Yeah, Wingstop be on point. Wingstop be on point too. But yeah, man, like it's real, man. It like you get to talking like restaurants and people want to throw hands, man, because it's like everybody's got their loyalty. Everybody got what they pick and what they feel like is the best, man. So it's just good to have options, you know? It's good to have the variety.
Silent Smurf says, if my family eats chicken, we do KFC. I can't condone that. And when I say this, don't take this like I'm trying to say or slander KFC or anything like that. I just used to work there.
See?
I just can't do it no more. I just can't.
Everybody that worked at a fast food restaurant will not eat at said fast food restaurant. That is just the law. That's why you didn't hear me mention nothing about no Sonic drive-in, because I worked at Sonic back in my youth. I see Sonic. The only time I go to Sonic now is to get a half-price drink. I don't fool with Sonic because I could tell y'all some stories, but I ain't gonna do that. Right. Man.
I'm not doing that either. I try to stay away from fast food restaurants anyway.
Yeah.
I try to cook more, bring it out of the house, it's healthier, but I don't know, man. Sonic, I love Sonic. I'm not even gonna lie, but there's a couple Sonics around here that is not it at all.
Oh man,
it's totally not it at all. So
yeah,
Steak and Shake too. Steak and Shake here in Kentucky sucks.
Yes, Steak and Shake is I think trash everywhere because I went to a Steak and Shake here. They started no, I take that back. Not Steak and Shake. It was Shake Shack is the one here. Shake Shack. Yeah, it was like somebody talked them up like they was the best thing since sliced bread, and I went in there and I was like, first of all, how you gonna give me this thick ass milkshake that I can't drink? Number one.
Culver's out here is like that.
Oh, bro, but Culver's, you know that, like because we only have like one Culver's here, and it's like I go to Culver's because I don't call that a milkshake. That's like a bootleg Blizzard.
That's
Dairy Queen.
Mastic shake. I can fix my walls with their shakes, dude.
Yes. You already know how that go with Culver's, man.
Yeah, man.
Already know. But man.
I don't do it.
It's just
man.
wild,
All this talk about food, y'all making me hungry.
Yeah, it's like we got to cut this out, wrap this up in the next 5 minutes or so, and go find out, man. But speaking of, let me just to address my homeboy Dr. Window one more time. Yeah, man, it's a Culver's off of Days of Allah. It's clean on the other side of town, but Days of Allah and I-10, there's a Culver's that way. I used to work out when I worked for United Healthcare. There was a Culver's there, but this will put a smile on my homeboy Dr. Window's face. I did go to Burger Boy last night and get that working man special cheese and bacon, mayonnaise on both sides. So you was trying to give me grief about my cup a minute ago, Dr. Window, but I did have a working man last night. Thank you very much. And it was everything that I needed it to be. And yes, I did get the extra order of fries for the ride, and I got a corn dog. So your boy was repping last night. Like you come down here, my guy, to San Antonio, and the first place that I will take you before we go do anything else.
I'm down.
Is to Burger Boy.
I'm down.
We going to go get that. We going to go.
I love
get
burgers
that.
too.
Yeah, man. Look,
I got the burgers. That just got burgers.
Man. That's what's up. But yeah, like
Fran Jackson said, you gotta get them Fruit Loops. He remembered.
Yep, sure do. Gotta get the Fruit Loops. Gotta get the Fruit Loops. He pays attention. Now that's why I love Adam. Adam's the bomb.
Yes,
Adam's the bomb.
Man. Totally.
All I know
I'm
is
still mad with him though.
If Awakenings don't hit the finals, Adam, we gonna have a problem. That's all I'm gonna say about it, man. If Awakenings don't hit that finals in debate 8, we gonna have some issues, bro.
All I know is he done did a damn George Clooney debate 8. But he won't give him, but then he got the nerve to try to hit me in the tweet with a Han Solo gif, but he won't give my man Harrison Ford a debate 8 of his own. I got so many problems.
Man, Harrison got some movies.
So many problems.
Harrison got some movies. He
does. Movies. He totally does.
No, but damn that. When we gonna get a Samuel L. Jackson debate 8?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what? What we gonna have to do, we just gonna have to to turn up on him and just be true Avengers
That's
and
it.
take over Debate 8 for
That's
ourselves.
what we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to come on and storm Debate 8, and we're gonna have to do Samuel L. Jackson, and then we got to backdoor that with 1990s R&B, since he want to talk about MJ and my love for Captain EO. Like, how dare you disrespect Captain EO in that way, sir? You gonna make me have my guy come ride out on you like that, man? You don't.
Oh,
man.
Killer Tofu looking.
Look, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, Patty Mayonnaise is my heart looking.
We coming for you, Nerd
We coming for you, Nerd Venture.
The MJ music video Debate 8.
Say hold on.
Actually, would be fire.
Stop the music, bro. Adam,
that's like behind the music.
If you want me to bring the fire to Debate 8, you give me a Mike Jackson music videos Debate 8, you will see a side of me, bro.
Do it.
Put the music back on, man. Look, let me tell you.
Do it.
Man.
I totally want to see
it.
Do it.
Oh, that's like choosing between babies. That's like picking between my kids, man. It's so bro. Like, you gonna make me choose between between Bad and Smooth Criminal? Like, and I didn't even mention Thriller. Like, oh my God. Like, and then
we didn't even mention Do You Remember?
I was finna say, like, we ain't even talking about like the underappreciated stuff, like Remember the Time.
Yeah.
Like Jam. This man played one-on-one with Michael Jordan in a video. Like, he got Michael Jordan to dance, bruh. Like, I don't know if you want to really call that dancing, but like,
I mean, he attempted to do something.
Yes. And look, if and the thing about it is, like, if we gonna do Smooth Criminal, if we gonna put Smooth Criminal in this list, we got to put the whole 18-minute Smooth Criminal, not just him in the club dancing. Yeah. No, I need the whole car chase with the robot. I need Mike, like, with the spider covered the teddy bear, and Michael turned it into the Transformer at the end, turned it into Nerd Venture Prime. Like, I need the whole I need the whole thing. We need the long Thriller, exactly.
The long Thriller, yeah.
We need the long Thriller episode. Him and Olary running out of gas, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. We need to Remember the Time where you get Magic Johnson at the beginning.
Yep.
The Stick Man. Like, don't give me, boy, look. That's, woo. Mike, man. Dude, just think about the fact, for those of you youngsters that don't know this, Mike was so much the shit that when this man would drop a video back in the day, like, all the network television would stop and be simulcasting his video at the same time. Like, I can remember when Bad dropped, like, the local news leading into Bad being premiered, and like it being on like 8 different channels at one time. Like, you won't see anything like that ever again, man. Like, that's
not really.
That's the power. That is the power of the media, and just the fact that man was on a whole nother level that people just don't understand. Like, you can say that it was PR and everything else along with it, but like, you got to back that up with some kind of charisma and some kind of like ability. And that dude,
for sure.
That dude, man, with Peter Ferret, Bad with Wesley Snipes. And that's the thing about it, is like, Mike's videos had some of the craziest cameos. Like, you go back and you look at them now and you like, oh snap. Like,
right.
Like, he did.
Some people got their start with Michael Jackson
video. Word.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy.
That's what's crazy. Like, I can't think of old girl's name, but she's in the Bad video, but the one with the little kids. She grew up to be an actress, and I found out like a while back that she was like in the Bad video with the little kids. I'm like, oh shit! Like, I didn't even. I mean,
imagine somebody like Wesley Snipes being in the Bad video. Like, now we're like, hey, Wesley Snipes, big known actor, but not back when Michael Jackson's video.
No, because that was like Bad was pre New Jack City.
Yeah,
like that was, he put Wesley on way back.
Yeah, so he was excited to be on man. Michael Jackson's video. So
yeah, it's just wild, man. It's wild, and you just think about how much music like that man contributed to like the world. Period, man. Like, you can say what you want to about the man, but when it comes to like the impact of that music and like where we are now, like, it's crazy to me, man. Like, that's just, And I was one of them kids that was drinking the Michael Kool-Aid for real. Like they could have looked. They was all talking about what was going on, and I was like, "Take me to Neverland. I go. I go." Like, look.
That story probably went the same way though.
Nah, bro. Because first of all, we'd had an agreement before I left, and been like, so every month them checks is gonna show up in the bank account, right? Like, hey, you mean every month, Mike? Like you talking about $50K every month, right? Go on, pass me that bottle, bro. Go on and pass me that bottle. I can see
little
man.
Baby you with your regular man face now, making that whole agreement.
The whole damn thing. Look, bro. Look, I'm trying to tell you, man.
No bigger than Stewie.
Yeah,
I can totally see that. That's fucking hilarious.
That's what my man Justin Simone says. Captain EO. He says it sucks paparazzi and media, and fans really were overboard. He couldn't live any kind of normal life. That's the thing, though. But that's the thing. Like Mike, in my opinion, because like I said, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, bro. Like I used to read like the books. Randy Tabarelli used to do like biographies on this dude, and I'd read these books and like get like some level of insight into like just what it was like to be around this guy. And the one thing that I get from it more than anything else is like Michael was a victim of his own imagination. Like, granted, yeah, the media was on his ass, but Michael created all of that hysteria. Mm-hmm. Like, he was the one that would put, like, I don't know if people know this, but like all of them tabloid stories that about Mike sleeping in hyperbaric chambers and buying the Elephant Man bones and shit, Mike put them stories out. Like, he was the one that would reach out and tell them, I want you to tell everyone that I'm buying 1,000 giraffes and I'm gonna have them in my backyard. Like, he would want people, like, it. That was the thing. It's like you want to be this mythical kind of this person that reaches this status that's almost like above, you know, something above being a pop icon or whatever. But the flip side of that is when you expose so much of your personality and who you are to the world in that way, people are gonna pick that shit apart left and right. I mean, think about it. Michael Jackson's life was no different than what we have in social media right now, except there was no social media. Like, the world knew what this dude was doing almost on a daily basis. And that was just based off the fact that, like, tabloids and the press were constantly around. And you can't have that without some level of, like cooperation from him. Like, he had to be on, like, in cooperation with at least some of these people for it to have gotten to the level that it got. And ultimately, I think that's what kind of did him in, was that, you know, you let enough people in and you start showing enough people like your weird side, and they gonna find a way to make money off of it. And I think that's what it was with Mike. I don't think it was a situation where he was doing anything necessarily, you know, evil or some of the stuff he was accused of. But I think what it was is when you put yourself out there like that, and it's some shit that normal people don't rock with, you know, then you're gonna come under fire for that. And it's funny how media will flip on you once they know that they can make more money tearing you down than building you up. Like,
no, I mean, the media is never for you anyway. They're just for the news. So as long as you got good news coming out, fine. But as soon as you get some bad news coming out,
they gonna tear your ass up. So yeah, man,
it was like chicken tenders.
Yes.
Like chicken butt.
And that's what happened, man. But just from a music standpoint, though, like, just that man's catalog, the countless songs of his that have been sampled, you hear, you know, his music, you know, 30, 40, 50 years. And it's just crazy, man. Like, there's never...
Man, these new zennials know who Michael Jackson is.
Right, so. You know what I'm saying?
Still love him.
It's still still be on it, man. Like, my youngest daughter is 12, and she is a Michael Jackson, like, no Michael Jackson songs verbatim. Like, that was her video. The funny thing was that was her remember that old movie he did, Moonwalker? That was like her nighttime movie. Like, when she would go to bed, she'd have me put on the little part where Michael turns into the little claymation rabbit and be running from the paparazzi. That was her thing. Like, every night she wanted to watch Speed Demon. And so I had to literally record that one section because I got tired of having to go in there and rewind the damn DVD. I just recorded that one section and looped it. So she was watching the same 20 minutes. For the longest time, she thought that was all it was to the movie, was that he was running around. I'm like, nah, girl, it's a whole movie behind this. Like,
that's pretty smart, though.
But yeah, man, it was wild, man. It was wild, but yeah, it's crazy, man. But like you said, and that's a conversation for like thought sauce or our own version of that. When you start getting into like world famous says the man owned half of Sony Music. Yeah, when you start getting into that and the whole situation with that last concert series at AEG and what's his name? Now his name slips in my mind. The Doctor. Yeah. When you start getting into all of that, man, then it's like,
yeah, man, yeah.
Something about that. Something about some of that stuff, man.
I have to revamp my channel. We can go on and talk about certain things like this because, you know, when we be getting off of here, we be still talk about some real issues for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
So we'll have to work on that. But I would say this is another successful afternoon.
I would say so. We're definitely
our way
say so.
Into evening now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, like we always say.
Oh yes.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
Out of here.
My man.
Show. My main.
Yes. We will catch you.
Yep.
In the next
episode.
Hey. That was a good one.
It was. The Nerd Venture Tower look a little different tonight.
Yeah, a little bit.
Foggy out.
A little bit of fog, man. Is that fog or do they got the they out there with
that's that smoke from when you knocked down the dispensary, huh?
Yeah, man. You know they still ain't got that under control, man. Apparently, some of them chemicals we had in the basement.
Man.
I don't know. You know how it goes. I really wasn't expecting that to happen either, man. Like it just happened.
Me either. But I got engulfed in that sativa though.
I meant to ask you, are you all right, man? Did you ever get yourself together, man? Did you ever?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, now that I see that's what it is, I'm probably gonna step out a little further on this balcony and
there you go. Try to
take a swim in the pool and get some of this sativa.
Yeah, man. Just be careful. Don't get too close to the edge of that pool, man.
Oh no, I'll be right on the good side.
There you go. Stay on the good side. Do like all us Nerd Vengers and stay in the shallow end. Don't go down there where you can't feel the bottom of the pool with your feet. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, I'm about to be on my way over there right now.
There we go, man.
Right.